Hello and welcome to the Miskatonic Playhouse. Newman.
We are in a very exciting place tonight, everybody. We're going to be looking at a scenario called Pop Goes the Weasel by the wonderful Chris Stewart. And I was talking to the guys earlier. I remember when Chris was writing this. Chris, I don't think we've ever spoken, so please get in touch. But I remember when you were writing this through the Story Collective, because I was also writing this scenario, and I remember your ideas bouncing around. So I'm super excited to be a part of this and playing this. But that's enough of my own self-indulgence. Tonight we have some wonderful guests. Not only do we have the amazing tall halfling Steve Anderson running our game tonight as keeper, we have some fantastic guests with us. So we're going to go across the group, and I'd like our guests to introduce themselves, their character, and where you can find them. And we are going to start, mainly because I love putting him on the spot, with Gene. Gene.
Hi. I am Gene Williams. I am also known as Mindspawn, and I run Mindspawn Mastery. I am going to be playing Professor Stan Coleman this evening, who is a junior faculty member at the good old MU. Not a traditional academic. I come from a construction background because my daddy was in construction, you know, and so am I. Anyway, I like building things and stuff like that. You can find me anywhere online under the name Mindspawn, just about. And you can look up mindspawn.com. That's where my music's at. Mindspawnmastering.com. That's where I do my mastering business.
Fantastic. Lovely. A lot of mind spawning there, which is exactly what it says on the tin. I love it. Yeti.
Hello, I'm Yeti, and I'll be playing Anne-Sally Merrell, who for some reason I think is the only character with a middle name, so I think I'll make a point of saying Anne-Sally a lot tonight. Anne-Sally is a bright young thing. She's 22 and a post-grad student and fancies herself a great researcher, which is why he needs to learn everything about databases and solve all the problems that there are. I'll be smart-assy and spunky, and you just see. You can totally find me on Discord or Blue Sky, or the app that we don't go anymore as Embroidered Yeti. But I don't have anything else to plug, and you will only find chatter if you go there.
Chatter's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. And Yeti is awesome to chat to. Next, over to Derek.
Hi, everyone. Derek, first time here on the Playhouse. So I think that means I'm going to die in the first 10 minutes, but we'll see on that. You can find me on Discord as Distinguished Cat, and a bunch of my other stuff like reviews, my own repository scenarios at dreadandchaosstudio.wordpress.com. And tonight I will be telling Bob Mellor, CPA, a university accountant, kind of overweight white man in his mid-40s, sporting a classic, brand new to the market calculator watch.
That is an oppressive appendage. And I am T.A. Newman, your humble, relatively human host of the Miskatonic Playhouse. Yay! And you can kind of find me wherever. I'm behind you right now. I was in your car the other day. And if you're wondering who ate that Mars bar in your cupboard, that was me. And I'm pretty much all over the Discords, all over the interwebs, on all the socials. You can find us at Miskatonic Playhouse. You can find me at T.A. Newman. If you're looking for the Playhouse, look for the Playhouse. If you're looking for me, then good luck and don't tell the police. Writer, tabletop role-playing writer, gamer, voice actor, all of the above and the usuals. And I think this is the live stream where we kind of say, where we date it by saying, we're very excited as the Playhouse because we've got the Chaosium Con UK coming up, which is going to obviously be in the UK. It's the first one in the UK. We've been jealous of you Americans for a long, long time. And there's even the Poland con coming up as well. I just wish I could afford to keep going to all of these things. So we're going to have a lot, hopefully, of material coming your way in the near future, which is going to be amazing. But I am playing a character who, Anne, also has a middle name, which is Daria. because I am Dr. Daria Birch. And my character is this evening is a business professor, so professor at Arkham University. They are an English professor. They're from Windsor, and they are relatively binary in their decisions. Very black, very white, very yes, very no. So I imagine they're going to be a very positive influence on the group this evening. But more important than that, our keeper, Steve.
I am Steve. You can find me on the socials at Tall Halfling, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. You'll find me here at the Playhouse doing a little bit of everything. It feels very strange to be in this window, and have Newman over there. Not the way that the world is supposed to work, but so be it. So tonight we're going to be playing through Pop Goes the Weasel by Chris Stewart. A word on our setting first. We play a lot of scenarios here set in the 1920s, sometimes modern scenarios set in the 2020s. Tonight we're in the 1970s, specifically 1978, which is a surprisingly big year for technology. Space Invaders just came out in the arcades. DOS just came out. BASIC just came out. The first successful dot matrix printer just came out. The first word processing program just came up. All of that this year in 1978. So we'll go ahead and dive in, and we are starting at the venerable Miskatonic University, stepping into the science building. You've got a clash of styles, of eras. To your right, the West Wing, dark, rich woods, incandescent light. The halls and hallways are lined with bookcases made of deep, dark wood, glass fronts on them. It smells of chalk. If you turn to your left, well, now you'll find walls painted off-white, flickering fluorescent lights up above, maintenance workers up on ladders running cables through a drop ceiling. It is very much a tale of two buildings, the tale of two universities. But you've all been invited to come over and have a chat with the Dean of Science, Dr. Bernard. And as you gather in the foyer, who gets there first?
Good question.
I'm thinking I'm very eager and punctual, so it might as well be me.
So what do we see?
You see a young woman in a blouse and pencil skirt with a clipboard under her arm, walking purposefully into the building and then looking around because the way to the computer lab isn't entirely clear.
So let me ask you one more question, and then we'll meet everybody else. As you're walking in, you're seeing these two very different worlds, these two very different ideas of what Miskatonic University is. Which one appeals to you, or appeals to you more?
They're both gorgeous because as somebody who embraces scientific progress, I'm constantly aware that we're standing on the shoulders of giants. But I am starting to look for signage for the computer lab in the new part because I'm assuming they'll need a lot of cables and stuff run that might, like in some of these old rooms, you don't even have a power outlet.
Okay. So who arrives next?
Oh, I'll be following it right in because I'm always wanting to get in as quick as I can because, I come from these construction background. I kind of feel a little bit out of place, so I kind of feel like the need to prove myself. So right behind her, Sally, I come in. I'm, dressed in a typical professor's getup, just a little on the lower key side, but clean stuff. I got a little bit of limp. And you can oddly see that I wear construction boots that look like they probably have steel toes on them. There's also a tape measure at my side, snapped onto my belt. But I come in and I look around and I take a moment and I'm like, okay, so, and I look over at Sally and I'm like, and you are?
Oh, I shift my clipboard so I can stick out my hand for you to shake. The Sally and Merrell. I'm looking for the computer lab. Would you happen to know where that is?
Well, I'm on my way there as well. So there's a new dean that we're meeting. Is that the correct term there? Is he dean or head of?
Dean of Science.
Either.
Dean of
Swiss? And who might you be?
I am Stan Coleman. Glad to meet you. Happy to be here, and I'm a junior faculty member. But this is how we move up in this world. You got to shake some hands and get to know folks, right?
Yes, please to meet you. Dr. Coleman, then?
Yeah, just call me Stan.
Oh.
And right on cue, we meet
Bob will come in next. He's fairly well dressed, bow tie shirt, no jacket. He's got a little briefcase with him, kind of looking around, again, trying to figure out where he is. Probably hasn't been in the building before. If anything, though, he appreciates the fact that as the university expands, they reuse what they already have rather than just building new buildings willy-nilly. That's gotten some other institutions of higher learning in some troubles in the past. Seeing this conversation going on in the foyer here, sure that Bob here will notice Professor Coleman and head on over. Say, Professor, have you been invited to this presentation or some kind of demonstration as well?
Yeah. And you are?
Bob Mellor, CPA.
Bob,
Offer kind
glad
of a
to
limp
meet you.
hand to you.
We always need a bean counter in our world. So, somebody's got to keep the book straight, make sure that stuff's on point. Glad to make your acquaintance, Bob.
Yes, of course. I'm interested to see how this whole computers experiment could benefit the university. I'm not so keen or sure on it myself. I think it's maybe passing fad.
Wow, it could be, but I see a lot of potential benefit in the construction business. Being able to keep track of things, doing quicker measurements, being able to mock things up much faster. I'm excited to see what he's got to say.
Interesting.
Speaking of passing
faces?
fads,
Yes.
Newman, would you like to introduce your character? Sorry, that was mean.
Oh, absolutely. As they are kind of chatting, and it's lovely for them to all meet each other. They hear the absolute kind of clip-clop of business shoes clacking down the hallway, and what they probably see is power suits. Not quite 80s. Obviously, we're not there yet, but in the 70s, just very women business suits, standing out in business as a woman, as a leader, as a professor, or a doctor rather, doctor at this time. It is. She's worked very hard to get where she is, and when she walks down the corridor, everybody hears her coming. They can also probably smell the smoke from her cigarette as she's walking through the corridor. The door kind of swings open, and she is just like continuing down the corridor and smoking in the science building. And she kind of finds the group there, and she just gets there. Oh, right.
Dr. Darwin, Birch.
Yes, well, I'm not fussed with titles. Stan, bloody good to see you again. Bloody
Nice to
good to
see
see
you.
you.
Nice to see you.
Absolutely. Lovely to
Are you
see
excited for
Mwah,
that?
mwah.
Mwah, mwah.
Excited. Yeah. I was quite excited about this whole computer thing. If we can speed up the process. There was one chap I was speaking to, a bit of a buffoon actually, but the one thing he did say that kind of inspired my thought about meeting this new dean of science and focusing on these computers. They were using computers to actually track markets, which I thought was quite wonderful. something we could use, something we could employ, something the university could use. Who the bloody hell are you two?
I stick out my hand again. Sally and Merrell, sociology. Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. And I give you like kind of one or two fingers and shake your hand in a very weird, limp kind of like, who the hell are you? Kind of way. Yeah. Lovely. And you?
Bob Mellor. I work in the kind of university head office. Daria, that would be Dr. Birch. Is that correct?
Yes, Dr. Birch. Quite right. So, but Bob, so what did you say you did, Bob?
I work in accounting over there for the university, kind of, and make sure everything keeps running.
That's terrible. Well, I'm glad they're letting you out. You're here. Bit of a trip out, is it?
Yeah, yes. It's they stuck us on the far side of campus, so it is a little bit of a journey over to the computer institute over here, but
Yes. Well, we need the bean counters, but I mean at the same time, bloody bean counters. Am I right, Bob?
So before Daria and Bob, I'm sorry, Daria and Stan, start making pitches for funding for their respective departments, which I'm sure happens to about all the time around the university. You hear the big old clock out in the quad start to toll. It is the time you've been asked for, which is mid-afternoon here in the summer of 1978. So you're all turning right. You're heading down into the darker part of the building with those big wood bookcases lining the hallway, and you knock and head into the dean's office. It is befitting a dean, a rather large building, also lined in those heavy wooden bookcases. Everything here is orderly. Everything has its place. Everything goes exactly where it should, except on the desk. Because on the desk, things have been shoved to the side a little bit to make room for what probably looks to you like a metal suitcase sitting there. And Dr. Bernard stands up behind his seat. Oh, hello. Welcome. You're the four who are here to help us with our final testing, are you? Delightful. Colleagues, we stand at a critical point. Both the fortunes of the university and the field of computing science, we are close to finalizing the development of a new computer architecture, which will launch a bold new information age, and you will be on the very leading edge. We, the university, will be on the very leading edge. I've asked you all to play a part in the final testing here, so we can truly earn our place in the history books. And as he's talking, he's patting the suitcase on the desk. If you'd like to make a spot hidden or a psychology, depending on what you'd like to know more about, you're more than welcome to do that.
We will start with a complete and utter fail in psychology. It's great.
Oh, he is confident as the day is long.
Yeah, you look like J.R. Ewing from that new show. What is it called? Dallas. Yeah. I love that guy.
Hi.
Oh, I just fumbled my spot.
Oh, Yeti. Did you break the computer?
I might have sat down at the edge of the desk and not looked where I was putting my behind.
Well, he didn't. He did push things out of the way. There's a copy of his most recent book that didn't find a home anywhere else, and is sitting on the chair that you completely failed to notice as you sit on his book. The dean who oversees, this entire quadrant of the university.
I'm so sorry. My apologies. As I get back up and extract the book from the seat and offer it to him to put somewhere else. I go bright red.
I'm sure it will be fine. It's only the proof, the only one I have. He sets it on the table with a little bit of grump.
I'm not making it better.
And then he flipped open a couple of latches on the end of the suitcase. The cap at the end of it comes off, and on the inside is a keyboard. If you look around toward his side of the desk, you can see that what was covered by that keyboard was a little screen, well, not little to us, but little at the time, floppy drive. You can see it humming along. It's plotting some quadratic curves on the screen. Now, this is just the portable model, but if you'll follow me, I'll introduce you to the proper, more powerful, more impressive version of our new creation. He hands you this is still in progress, but we'll give you the general idea. I think a little promotional flyer about something they're codenaming for now Weasel from Science at Miskatonic, promising mini computer power. For those who are not as old as I am, mini computer does not mean what we would think of as a mini computer. It means like doesn't take up the whole room, but it's still basically mainframe. Mini computer power, microcomputer size, the future on your desk. And you can see it's still in progress. They're still making some adjustments to the flyer.
And Dr. Bernard, this is going to catch on. There's going to be money in this. Is there small computers?
Oh yes. They're already catching on, but they have limited power. This solves that problem. It's going to move science ahead. It's going to move computers ahead. It's going to put Miskatonic University on the map.
What? Exciting.
Also
Bernard,
sharing with you, by the way,
Oh, yes.
an ID by way of introducing the character, so you have an idea of what Dean Bernard looks like.
Incredibly trustworthy.
Oh, yeah. 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 I'd buy insurance from him. Sure.
So if you'll all please follow me right down this way, and he's going to lead you back past the foyer into the modern fluorescent lit part of the building, and taking you to the new this summer computer lab. As you go in, you notice the door, they are not taking any chances. Big, heavy metal security door even opens out, so make sure nobody's going to go kicking it in or anything. As you step inside, you see all the work tables with, well, all the major brands are here. Apple II, TRS-80, Commodore PET, a handful of students testing things out. As you're walking through, glancing over shoulders, you can see a couple of them are writing reports. One is doing some calculations, possibly about a scientific lab of some sort. On one screen, you see, well, you're not entirely sure what you're looking at. Possibly Anne might know, but looking over their shoulders, you see text on the screen that just says, "A maze of twisty little passages all alike." For those not at a certain age, Zork just came out last year. You do also notice one middle-aged gentleman who's working on one of the computers trying to fix a loose connection, muttering under his breath. It does not exactly look approachable. But the dean leads you through the lab, and at the back of the lab, he is excited to present the Weasel. It's small in the sense that it fits on a desk, takes over the desk, but it fits on the desk. Shiny metal security cables tying in place to make sure there are no chances whatsoever. This is the future of computing. This, my friends, is the Weasel. Well, do any of you have any questions you're working on, research you're working on, that I can perhaps use as an example for you?
Sure. I absolutely think that this. How about shooting me if I were to subdivide a square to square up a building, to be able to do basically the golden triangle, so that we'd know that, like, if this side's this way and that side's that way, the diagonal across the middle would be this way. Could it do that? Could it do it quick?
Taps a few buttons, and a diagram comes up of exactly the situation you're talking about with the corner, and then if you extend one bit, it changes this, it changes that.
My God, man, this is fantastic. This could speed up so many, like, estimates, things like that. It's brilliant.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. He runs a couple of other examples for you. Feeds in an article, and it automatically pulls out certain keywords. He shows you an example he was working on earlier, analyzing the entire season's statistics from the Red Sox. And as he's walking you through these examples, which, again, by the standards of the day, are really pretty incredible, a younger man walks in. There we go. Younger man, a little bit disheveled, a little bit casual. You didn't even see him come in. He's just, like, there looking over your shoulder. Your pitching skills are getting better and better, Dean. And the dean is excited to introduce. This is Arthur Fail. If you ask him about his name, he will bristle, I'm sure. But he is a young rising star, genius. Earned his first degree at 15, you know. And I must say, the greatest success of my tenure as a dean, managing to lure him here from MIT, would you believe? And he left to come here and work at Miskatonic. Work on this project with us.
Yeah, he looks a lot like the fellow on that there Man Machine album. What's those guys called? The Kraftwerks. Yeah, he looks a lot like him, if you ask me. Yeah, do you play music in your spare time there, sir?
You get a very blank look from the dean. Arthur kind of chuckles. I don't have a lot of spare time, but I am always looking for a new challenge. Who knows? Again, if anybody would like to run a psychology roll, you're more than welcome to.
100%. I mean, not 100%.
Yeah,
exactly. Not far off. 91.
Right.
91 over 65. A big fat fail.
Oh yeah,
and getting them out of the way before it's serious.
Let's hope. 40 over 15 or 14 or some. Yeah, it's horrible. I don't even know why I bother. I'm like, really? So.
Well, I mean, you're basking in the glow of this young rising.
They're
glory.
amazing.
Yeah.
An amazing crew. This is fascinating, Professor. And Arthur, very, glad to meet you. I'm always thrilled to meet a fellow academic, and we obviously we play for the same team here. So,
What team do you play for?
oh, myself? Well, I play for the team that wins, my friend. I play for the team that builds on the future, on what's coming ahead, on creating business and creating buildings.
Sorry, Stan. Sorry, I thought you were in some kind of faculty football team or softball or something. Apologies.
No.
No, I thought you sports bar or something.
No, Daria, I'm not.
Sorry. Arthur, what have you done? We're investing in people, investing in business. Now, obviously, Dr. Bernard is a known quantity, isn't he? He's a gentleman, a scholar, to say the least. And she just lights up a cigarette in the middle of the room with the computer. And
Nobody looks at
Arthur, I know you are. Yeah, absolutely. I know you are. You've been brought in here. You're special. So what have you done?
He gestures to the machine on the desk. The dean is quick to explain. He's overseeing. He is supervising. But this is absolutely Arthur's baby.
Oh.
And immensely proud of it. Let's put it that way.
Well, say no more, Arthur. I mean, once the machine is up and running, before you move on your patent, before you move on perhaps marketing, you should absolutely come and see me. I can absolutely help. You see, that's what I do. Dr. Daria Birch properly holds a hand out now, shakes his hand. Professor here at Arkham University for Business. We can make your clear success here, Arthur. We can all see that you've put the work in here. And she kind of looks at Bernard with a sad smile. So Arthur,
of course,
you're ready.
That's why we invited all four of you. You each have. You bring something special to this final round of testing before we share it with the world. And as you're all chatting, the door opens. A older appearing gentleman walks in, says hello to one of the students, stops in his tracks, appears to see Arthur, turns, walks back out.
Okay.
Oh.
Bob, did you notice that?
Yes, I did. Dr. Bernard, who was that? He seemed to leave in quite a hurry.
Oh, nothing. I'm sure. Professor Richards is one of our other faculty members here in the computer science department. He's just a busy man.
Is he also involved in the Weasel project here?
Oh no. He has his own projects, his own research.
I see.
Arthur is still running through examples. Seems on the face of things oblivious to the whole thing.
Dr. Richards isn't a pain, is he?
No. He's
not getting in Arthur's way, is he?
Oh no. He's a very well. He wrote some very interesting papers a few years ago. I'm hoping we'll have a chance to chat at some point.
Of course. Yes. I have to admit, I was skeptical of this Weasel Arthur's project here, but I mean, again, the budget of the computer science department is astronomical, really, to say. We've sunk a lot into it, but seeing this demonstration, I have to say, I have to admit my initial assumption was wrong. This is Very impressive, Arthur.
Thank you. Very kind of you to notice. I'm sure we will recoup the costs many times over once this all goes live.
Well,
Well,
speaking of costs and things, how much juice does this here pull there, Doc? I mean, this looks pretty extensive. Does it require a lot of electrical to keep it running? Could it run off of? Can it be disconnected?
Terrible thing to ask. Of course, it can be disconnected. The connection, though, is one of the great highlights. You see, and he starts to explain one of the big speed bumps in computer science to this point is that yes, you've got the Apple II, you've got the TRS-80, you've got Commodore. They each speak to themselves. They don't speak to each other. One of the things he's very proud of is finding a way for the Weasel to talk to all three, so you can.
Oh, so it is kind of like the J.R. Ewing of the computer world. It talks to everybody in their own language. Is that what you're saying, Doc?
I suppose you could say that. It seems rather pleased with the comparison.
Are we recognizing the value here beyond creating quite a sophisticated computer machine? We are recognizing here that this could be a computer that could communicate nationally, multi-machine, internationally.
Maybe even globally. I mean, think about the big projects that are being built in, say, London versus big projects being built in LA. They could all be talking to one another, sharing goods, sharing equipment, sharing supplies back and forth. This could be a game changer in that respect. Yes. I mean, I'm sure Bob knows about, whenever it comes to counting numbers, having supply chains that work, right? And you as a business person, no supply chain, no work.
We are hoping, we are aspiring. Any of you who have actually, you can all make a computer science roll if you'd like.
Oh, we have that? Oh, my God.
Computer use, rather.
Yes, computer use. This is going to be great.
Oh my goodness. That's 25 under 35. I didn't think I was going to get that.
23 under 5. Tempted to use some. We haven't rolled luck.
We have not rolled luck. So yeah,
to use some. We haven't rolled luck.
Roll 3d6 and then multiply that total by 5.
Little secret here. Rather than rolling 3d6 and times it by 5, I just say I've got 100 luck.
Nice. You are a business person.
I just don't tell the keeper, is what I do.
Yeah, so I've got a nice 40 on my luck. Not horrid, not great.
5 over here, yeah.
55 luck.
Nice, there we go. Getting there.
Yeah. But I don't think I'm going to use.
No, I'm so far. I rolled a 39 on a 5.
So I did 23
66 over 40. A little far away for me.
Oh, be bold.
Yeah, go on. But
Anne did succeed.
Oh,
so
awesome.
She briefly explains to the rest of you. Networks are hard to come by these days. You've got some military experiments, ARPANET.
But if you were going to take your floppy disks overseas, say, maybe one of their machines there could read it.
Exactly. As you're all chatting, one of the maintenance guys from the hall comes in, kind of scratches his head. I'm sorry, folks. For our next set of connections, we're going to have to turn off the power for a little while. The students are all grumbling. Arthur is a little bit annoyed to have his demonstration interrupted. Dean Bernard takes it in stride. I promise you, friends, I promise you, you come back tomorrow morning, we'll have some an opportunity for you to do some hands-on testing. We are very proud of how easy it is to use. To use this machine, you really don't need expertise. You tell it what you want, and it's really quite extraordinary. He is perhaps overselling things, but...
Well, Doctor, thank you very, very much for at least the beginnings of your demonstration. It does look very, very promising indeed.
Well, thank you. And thank you for being part of this new age of scientific exploration.
Always ready to help a fellow academic.
Of course.
Always happy to see when one of the university's investments pays off.
Exactly. Delighted you understand. So you see it our way.
Is Arthur still there? Sorry, is Arthur still in the room? I'm going to.
I'm gonna say you're all being kind of ushered out into the hallway, but he hasn't walked away, so he's still.
Okay, I'm gonna very kind of slightly cigarette in mouth, side of the room. I'm just gonna write something on one of my business cards, and my attempt is to slip him the business card without. I'm not that fussed if everybody sees, but I'm trying to do it without everybody seeing.
Can give me a
sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, yeah, that seems.
There you go.
My specialty with 10 in sleight of hand. My specialty. Yeah. Ninja card. 21 over 10. So it's a failure, but it's not what I would call a Yeti failure.
You could spend luck on that. I mean,
that's true.
I'm not that concerned if you guys see what it says.
Well, in that case, I'm going to try to see what it says if I can. But you know what? There's really no chance of that. I am staring into the bright lights as they flicker overhead. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Move on outside.
Arthur, for his part of it, takes the card and kind of slips it into a pocket. He'll take a look at it. Look at it later. What will he see when he does?
When he looks at it, he's just going to see. I can help you with big and then lots of dollar signs. It says, Arkham, Miskatonic Investment ? Personal capital ? You and me.
Yoda wrote a lot down on that business card.
Yeah, it's really fast. It's like A4. It's an A4 business card. It's massive. And it was A3. That's folded in half.
That's right. This is the 80s. So big business.
And it also says, I love your eye color. I really like long walks in the park. There's a lot of information on that.
Do you like me, yes or no?
My sign is...
Yeah, please keep this a secret from the others because they are looking, and I don't want them to say, a big business card. Yeah.
So, is there anything any of you would like to do this evening, or shall we pop ahead to coming back in the morning?
I will do a tiny bit of, because my computer use is just atrocious, but at least I have some, and I do have, would it be, I think I'd like to take a library stroll and see if I can find any background information on both Arthur, and I know Professor Bernard is here, but I probably don't know a lot about this guy other than the top level stuff, and then particular if there's anything about Dr. Richards that I might find in the library.
Okay.
And oh, nice. I got a 12 on a 32. Frickin' yeah, that's a That is a that's a strong, what do you call it? A strong success? Hard success?
Hard success.
Hard. The hard success. It's hard. It's like me. I'm hard.
Okay. So you're heading over to the Orne Library. Might as well go ahead and introduce you to the head librarian, Ms. Stein. Got a
Hi, Miss Stein.
very bright eyes, brilliant smile, happy to help. Those of you who know
Miss Stein,
much about
yeah.
the history of Miskatonic University might find it a breath of fresh air to have a head librarian who's actually like nice. But
It's a trick.
It is. It must be. Oh, it's fallacy. It's fallacy. Sorry. Yeah.
so what would you like
so
to research first? You give me a couple of things.
Yep. So the first things first is since I know a bit about Dr. Bernard, and I know that Arthur is a visiting academic. I want to start with him because I'll have the least information about him, and then follow that up with anything that I can quickly top level, not digging too deep, but top level. What the hell does Dr. Richards? What does he do, and why? Maybe get some inclination of why he seems so snottish.
Okay. All right. So, with a hard success, I think that's perfectly fair. What you find about Arthur, as I mentioned, he very, very bright. Got his first degree at 15. He's earned several more since then. Unlike most of the faculty here, he is not Dr. Phil, because he just didn't bother to turn in his dissertation. He completed the entire thing, titles. And you do find again that he came here to Miskatonic from MIT, which seems rather remarkable in itself. So something of a coup for your university that is not exactly at the very, very tippy top of scientific education.
Go MU, fighting cephalopods.
As for Dr. Richards, you do find some papers from a few years ago. He was a local star, top dog in the department. You find a few of his papers that are probably pretty opaque to those of you who are not from his field of study. But
What is his field of study?
Sorry?
What is his field of study?
He started out in science and electronics. He's shifted into computers, starting with working with early mainframes, that kind of stuff.
So he's also he's obviously on some level connected with Bernard and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. They both ultimately report to the dean. If you had to make a guess, and I realize we've had some spectacularly bad psych rolls, but if you had to make a guess, if you're the top dog in your department, and then a rising young star comes and steals the spotlight, you can imagine how that might go.
Okay, we can see where the animosity might come from. Then, yeah, okay. Even with the utterly awful psychology roll. Cool. Thank you.
You do notice, even in the summer, the Orne Library is still a busy place. Got that enormous marble entry hall. Got librarians hustling back and forth with, their little trolley carts full of books. It's a busy, lively place. Anything else anybody would like to do before we come back in the morning?
In a similar vein, but I think rather than checking out the library, I would go to whatever admin office they maybe keep like employment records to see, finding out Arthur's come here from MIT. How long has he been, working here? Has he been here like the past year? Was this like 4 years ago? And then, was Richard's kind of downfall at the start of the apartment kind of at the same time? Like it was just Arthur was outshining him, or was it just that the department was sort of stagnant, that kind of stuff?
Okay, so okay, Newman, what kind of role would that be? Admin is not exactly something having a fingertips.
Yeah. No, but I think to a degree, I think there's a couple of choices there, isn't there? You're actively engaging in kind of like a phone call accounting base. So it's somebody else doing the kind of I suppose the extensive, not necessarily numbers, but accounting for data, for processing, where people have been, dates, times, locations. So I think accounting would be a fair one, especially because it's Bob doing it, which is kind of, this is what he's doing. He's using his strength to kind of look in that area. Unless you wanted to go for a more perhaps generic intelligence role, because he's leaning into the intelligence side of looking at where Arthur's come from or how he's kind of existed.
I think the kinds of questions that you're asking, I think leaning into your professional expertise makes a lot of sense to me. How long has Arthur been on the payroll? That would absolutely be
okay.
Accounting.
Yeah, I'll go for the accounting then. And that's a fumble with 100 over 60. Awesome.
Yes, Daria.
Excellent. Great
Oh
shot.
my word. Gene,
I don't
if
think
you and
I
I
rolled-
don't get a fumble in this game, we're not playing it right.
I could roll above 90 all day. That's classic. I think Newman hacked my roll 20, but
Sorry, yeah. I knew that if you did like an education roll, you would have got a 1. And I spoke to the roll 20 guys, and they said, make him do accounting.
Okay, Derek, you tell me, what does a fumble look like checking accounting records?
that's a very good question. So I think it's mainly that that I'm like looking into the accounting records for Arthur in the computer science department, and then just goes off on a complete tangent, realizes that I have some other work looking into the budget of the computer science department, and like completely forget what I was originally looking for. And then all of a sudden it's like midnight.
Nice. The original doom scrolling.
Yes, exactly. Doom scrolling, but like by lantern light.
Yeah. Love it.
All of a sudden it's just midnight in the office, and Bob's like, I need to go home.
Okay, yeah, that makes absolute sense to me.
Daria was going to approach a similar thing, but in a different way, Keeper, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Unless you were about to explain Bob's computer exploding in his face, or his pen exploding and the spring ending up stuck in his neck for a fumble. But Daria is actually not at home, not researching in the way these guys are. She's gone to Davies, which is like a little music venue that she loves. It's tucked away in a back alley in the town centre. And she's a few drinks in. She's, probably nearly half a pack of cigarettes in. And she's having a few drinks. She's enjoying herself. This is what she does. Her husband's away, but she's not doing anything nefarious. She just loves this place. But what she does, she's been here so much. She knows the people so much. She's actually kind of half on the end of the bar, and she's using the phone at Davies that they let her use. And she's calling some of her really, really professional friends who know what she's like over in MIT to try and find out what this Arthur kid was actually like. If she's going to invest big time in him, she's like Tell me what he's like. I want to know. I'm gonna drop a chunk of change on this guy. Am I gonna get it back? So it's a very business call to her pals at MIT.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And thank you for even supplying a name for this place. So I think, given that she can make multiple calls to multiple people, sooner or later she will find somebody who could succeed on a roll. Yes, even in this game, somebody would eventually, statistically speaking, actually pass a roll. I think your friends at MIT know that he's brilliant. Know that he goes out of his way to do the casual, disheveled thing. They've seen that before with other rising stars at MIT. It's usually an affectation, usually something that somebody's going out of their way to come across that way. Nothing bothers me. Yeah. Rockstar is very much the vibe I think that you get. He enjoys being celebrated. He enjoys people making a fuss over him. He enjoys pretending that he's not always looking for what the next opportunity is. And your friends are also quite surprised that he left for Miskatonic. You even have a science department.
Okay.
Anything Anne's doing tonight?
Actually, possibly. Sally, what's Sally doing?
Sorry. I was asking.
Newman.
We have an Anne and we have a Stan. Sorry, Miss Merrell. Because I know that Stan is busy at the library. Everybody else is doing things. So.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just I don't care about these guys, honestly. I've just seen that beautiful machine and the things that it could do in even the brief presentation that we got. So basically I'm just frantically preparing my own research data into an inputable way. So I think I've hurried away to if there is any other accessible computer anywhere on the campus, because they shut down the electricity for the whole lab, right?
Yeah.
So if I know that there's a computer in the library somewhere or whatever, I've like taken a stack of papers and a floppy disk, and now I'm just typing up stuff, hoping to be able to import it tomorrow so that I can test my own work on that miracle machine.
Cool. All right.
Well, in that case, there is one more thing that I want to do because it's probably still showing. I'm going to go catch American Graffiti at the theater because they came out a couple months back. So yeah, I haven't caught it yet, and definitely want to see that. And while the computer disc sounds fun, really, like American Graffiti, let's go see this. So yeah, and I'm off. Actually, no, I'm not. In fact, I am going to ask Miss Stein, would you like to accompany me to the theater to see American Graffiti later this evening?
Okay. I think that's gotta be a charm or something of that ilk.
Oh, damn, yes. Okay. Let's see if I can fuck this up. Hang on. We have oh God. So we have a 99 on a 45. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I get arrested?
I think she's a little too little
Out of my league.
well, yes, but also a little bit more reserved than that.
Damn.
But if you need any information from the library later,
She's not
she
going to give
might
it
or
to
might
me.
not be willing to help you in particular. So
Nice. Okay. Well, thanks. And I'm off. Yeah. I'm. Yeah. We might just forego the movie and just go drink.
Miss Stein walks back into the library, kind of rubbing her head and wishing that the 70s had anything like modern harassment kind of policies on.
Yeah.
Reasons.
Right.
No way.
Okay. So fast forwarding to the next morning, as you're coming in to have your chance to do your hands-on testing of the machine, you gather in the foyer, you make that left turn into the brightly lit hallway with the buzzing fluorescence. And you hear yelling coming from the lab. Mostly a male voice who sounds very put out, a little bit from a female voice who seems very apologetic. That's what you hear from down the hall.
I assume we're all sort of more or less arriving together.
Yeah, I'm assuming you all gathered in.
Can we see down the hall? Can we see what's happening? The female voice, the altercation.
I'm thinking somebody else sat on that book again.
That damn book.
Well, you
needs
can
to stop
definitely tell
putting
that
it on
it's coming.
chairs.
Right?
You can definitely tell that it's coming from inside the computer lab. Just giving you a chance to react before you.
Okay,
Walk in
so
and see for yourself.
as we get up close, would a listen help to? Okay,
Sure.
yeah.
Can
Could a
we hear?
listen help? Yeah. Can we hear more what's going on other than there's just an argument?
Mhm.
And if that's the case, if it's possible, I have utterly no idea what they're saying. So yeah.
No way. All the fails.
Just to make it fun for Steve tonight.
Yes.
I'm just looking at the rolls. We have had one successful roll tonight so far, and that was the research assistant. That was Yeti and Sally Merrell.
You're
So,
saving your good bolts for later.
I like your enthusiasm and your optimism. It's great, Steve.
I mean, we've seen plenty of games where it's all it's all hard successes and extreme successes
failure's
until
way
you get
more
to the
fun.
critical moment, and yeah. So
You hold the gun the wrong way around.
Exactly.
Freeze!
Saving it.
In the interest of keeping it interesting, I'm gonna push it.
Nice.
Oh, Bob.
Bob is going to try and get right up to the computer door and almost put his ear to it, and if possible, even try to slightly open it to just hear what's going on, but without.
If this succeeds,
Yeah,
Daria's going to be well impressed. She's kind of there with a cigarette, seeing Bob doing this, and she's kind of like, okay, this bloody bee encounter, he's got something about him, this guy. I'm interested. She's not here, but she's impressed in what he's doing.
So the original failure was an 82 over 55. This push resulted in an 84 over 55. That is a failed push, Keeper. Take it away.
yeah, I think your companions are just having a hard time hearing because of the irritating buzz of the fluorescent lights. That maybe someday they'll get used to enough that they can tune it out, but that day is not today. hang on just a second. I have a beautiful little kitty cat here who insists on being right in the middle of everything.
It's important to have a cat break.
Yes.
And now for
And
a
few
commercial.
things are more enjoyable than rubbing up against the microphone, which
Yes. Yeah. It's special.
so I think getting up nice and close to the door, you are hearing a little bit. You probably recognize the voice that you heard yesterday from the balding gentleman who was fussing over one of the computers and trying to get a connection straight. He was saying something about wasting ink and paper doesn't grow on trees, and he's been ranting for a while. He's kind of lost the plot, and I think he notices the door start to open, and I think you kind of get looped into getting yelled at. Everybody here is really inattentive. They can't even come in a door or not.
Sorry. Excuse me. We heard some voices. We were supposed to meet Dr. Mr. Arthur and I think Dr. Bernard. Have you seen them anywhere?
Oh, I've seen this morning. Destroyed printer and all this wasted paper, and he is ranting at the young woman, a student, it seems. And as you all step into the lab, for those in our audience who may not be old enough to remember, where these days you put in a small stack of paper and it feeds it one sheet at a time, you would have like a whole box of paper that was fed in kind of like a paper towel roll that could keep going and going.
Corrugated holes down the side, perforated with the perforated strips on the side. Yeah.
By the way, one of my favorite design things about this scenario is that in the inside the PDF, every page has the row of holes along either side.
Oh,
Well done.
That's a nice touch.
Well done.
Yeah, nice touch.
Yeah. Whatever happened here, the printer did chew through the entire box of paper. It is all over the place. It's almost like somebody TPing a house, but with much larger paper.
Well, stepping into this little piece of chaos here. I mean, yeah. So this fella, do we know him? Like, are we familiar with him?
You saw him yesterday fussing over a computer. You haven't really had a chance to meet him.
Well, I'll walk forward and extend my hand and say, well, I'm truly sorry for what's going on. My name's Stan, and I'm on the faculty here. I was here to see a second part of a presentation. What's going on, and who are you?
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is your score in intelligence?
Oh Lord, it's a 60. Yes, it is.
You are incredibly lucky.
Okay.
We'll find out why later.
Okay. This is great.
Equally stepping into the situation attracted by all the interesting yelling. Is there anything on the wasted paper, or is it just been chewed through without having anything printed on it?
I think you are all basically at the door at the moment. And then we've got the two of them and the printers over across the room. So you can see that there's stuff printed, but you can't, as of yet, get a look at.
Can I step across because everybody is so distracted by yelling at each other?
What is your intelligence?
Okay.
75.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, sure. Take over the whole place. He is firing at you, firing back at the student. He finally grabs the printer under one arm, wads up the paper, shoves it in the waste basket, and then storms on out, leaving the student standing there, kind of shaking a little bit, trying not to cry. She is not used to being raked over the coals. Quite
Darling,
so
sweetie, it's okay. It's okay. We've all had an angry, mistempered, uninformed, the self-important man shout at us when he's done something wrong. Look, what's going on? What's going on? Here, have a cigarette.
So you get her calm down a little bit. She starts to explain. When they finished working on that connection last night and reopened the lab after the grown-ups had gone home, she was working in here, working on one of the Commodores. And when she came in this morning, the printer attached to that computer was going berserk, belching out.
Attached to the Weasel.
Not the Weasel.
The Commodore.
Regular, commercial desktop computer.
Yeah, that was completely uncalled for. What a jerk. I extract the printer and the paper from the waste paper bin.
He took the printer with him, but you do retrieve the paper.
I was wondering, why would you put the printer in the bin when that has cost several $1,000s probably?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I spoke poorly.
Yes, but is there anything on the paper?
Yes, there is. We'll get to that in just a second. As she's getting calmer, she's trying to explain why he was upset at her. His name's Ralph. He takes care of the equipment around here. He is bristly on a good day, from what she tells you. And she admits, I had it in print mode. Back in the day, you'd have a special mode on a computer that would print out everything that appeared on screen, basically the way that we would use a screenshot. So I had it in print mode. I didn't leave any programs running. In fact, I didn't leave the computer running. I made sure they were all turned off before I left for the night. I don't know what happened. If you see Dr. Richards, he can vouch for me. I passed his office on the way in.
Richards,
yeah.
Stuffy fellow, older guy.
yeah. Is he usually in earlier than you?
Yeah, we usually come in about the same time. Sometimes he gets here first, sometimes not. But I said hello, I said good morning, and then came in, and paper was all over the place. And speaking of the paper, and Sally has pulled it out and is looking at it. It's incoherent. It sort of looks Latin-ish, but you can tell. All you can really tell is that there are a few lines of it, and then skips a space, and then a few more lines of the same thing, repeating over and over and over and over and over again, page after page after page.
It's all text, though, not numbers.
It's all text. Okay. It looks it looks Latin. Any of you have Latin as a language?
Oh,
No, I have Spanish.
Okay.
Wait. I'm going to take, if you'll allow,
Mhm.
a long shot. I have 1% in medicine, which often
Oh, nice.
has Latin words in it. Can I take that shot?
I was going to say Spanish is a Romance language, so I think I get like
Also true.
whatever. I forget. I've got no idea about the percentage, but I get some Latin from that, I think.
I want to say you get, if you have one specialty, you have half of that for other specialties in that area. Is that right, Newman?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
sounds right. Yeah.
So if I go to hard,
basically,
that
if
would
you're
do
looking
it.
for hard success on Spanish, or if you're taking that moonshot for,
The series of fails continues. Although this is a close one,
See you,
I'm not
Fred.
going to spend 30 luck on this.
Yeah, I'm way over. I'm at 30 something on a 1.
okay. But you tear off one page, so you have a few copies of this text.
And then, sorry, does it like start repeating at all, or is it like every single line?
It's a few lines of Latin-ish, skips a space, repeats, skips a space, repeats.
Okay, so considering that I probably have no even idea that this is Latin, does somebody else point this out that might have, well, for instance, our Spanish-speaking lady here.
Well, it looks like, Stan, look, it's one of those filler languages. Sometimes we use them in contracts and stuff when we're presenting in kind of, especially when we're teaching business. It's kind of like we use a mock language. So we choose a font or a language that isn't appropriate just to show that this is where a block of text would go. So, I mean, it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Whatever's going on with the computer, it's just printing that same rhythmic bout of nonsense repeatedly, like some kind of heartbeat or something. But there's no sense to it. I wouldn't worry yourself about it, Stan.
Fair enough.
Not that this is technically, I guess this language knowledge wouldn't help me here, and I'm not sure if there's a skill that's sort of desktop publishing. But it's not lorem ipsum, is it?
No.
Wash your mouth
that is
out,
a good question,
Sally.
But it is
Wash
not.
your mouth out immediately. Next you'll be saying it's wingdings and writing in Comic Sans. You'll lose that bloody research role, you will, talking like that in the science lab.
Looking back at the student or researcher, the one who was getting chewed out for doing this.
She realizes she's Myra Banks.
Yes. Is there? You said you left it in print mode. What did you log out or anything? Is there a way to see if somebody else would have printed this on the machine, or?
So she had it in print mode last night when she was working. She didn't leave anything running. She turned the computer off. She made sure all the computers were turned off for the night. I don't think there would be there might be a login to like the mainframe.
I don't know if logins
into
existed at this time, so
yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like you're looking around the computer, though. You can give me a spot hidden.
Sure. Excellent.
Awesome.
Extreme success. 10 under 64, everyone. We're turning it around.
Bob, you've let us down at this point. You've got a successful role. This doesn't seem like our standard operating procedure.
Not on point. No.
An extreme success as well. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Good work, Bob.
So Arthur explained yesterday that one of the advancements of the Weasel is that it can communicate with other these other computers of different brands, different not languages, but different dialects, for lack of a better word. You do notice that there is a cable that connects the Commodore to the Weasel and the Apple II to the Weasel and so forth, so they can they can share that data.
Would you look out there, Bob? Seem pretty focused on all those cables and things.
Yeah, trying to figure out if who could have printed this if it wasn't Meyer here. Somebody must have been responsible for this. I mean, this is a gross misuse of university property. It's see though that most of the computers here seem to be networked over to the Weasel computer, which recall yesterday at least was kind of very under lock and key. Does it? I guess. Does it seem to be like that now? Is it kind of locked up still, or is it similar to when we were seeing it demonstrated yesterday? Was there stuff on the screen going on?
It doesn't seem well. What would you say? So it's physically like security locked in place, so nobody like walks off with it. If you walk over and take a look, you see a little prompt that says Weasel, 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 waiting for input.
Bob, is there a way you can, I don't know, prompt command previous input?
We can try. I will attempt. Is that going to be computer use for this, or?
Sure.
Or evil sophisticated enough? I don't need to.
Daria kind
well,
of
it is
very
sophisticated
close,
enough you can
smoking
do
a
many
cigarette.
things without computer use, but
But trying to look at
yeah,
historical inputs, yeah. No, classic. Back to usual. 94 low reporting failure.
yep, syntax error.
Not a fumble though, so that's great.
That's good. That's good.
Question on the printouts that Sally's looking at there. I'll look at some of the bits there that are in the trash as well. Is there any like time stamp thing on them, like what time this happened at?
No, but from what Meyer tells you, when she walked in, it was spitting out
Still churning.
the last few
Okay,
pages.
all right.
So you can
And she came in when?
backtrack and get an idea of roughly when it would have started in the middle of the night. But
Okay, all right.
those printers were not exactly fast.
So what are we thinking? And Sally, you're a bit of a computer whiz, aren't you?
I mean, I can, I can turn one on and
Great. So
plug it in and out. Yeah.
we're looking at Bob. What did you say? Cables to the other computers. This is churning out, wasting university paper and ink. We should say. What the bloody hell's going on here? Is it the Commodore 64 that's in? What was it, a 64? Would have been earlier, wouldn't it?
It was a pet.
Okay. Is it the pet that's the problem here? Is it the Apple II? Is it the Weasel? Look, if the university is going to invest in this Weasel, we need to make sure that it's not going to have negative connective issues here. And Sally, what do you reckon? Have a look at it.
Sure. I mean, the Weasel is on, and I guess it is connected to the printer, so it could be. But no, that is a nice old failure again, and by a wide margin.
Where?
Around this point, I think Myra has calmed down enough. She's finished the cigarette she was given. Hey, thank you for listening. She starts to leave. Gets kind of turns around a little bit. Comes back, retrieves her notebook that she was leaving behind. Heads on out.
Well, perhaps Arthur or Dr. Bernard can explain what's going on here. I mean, especially if the Weasel is at fault, perhaps Arthur can fix it. Of course, it's prototype here.
Oh, he might have.
Strange
He-
they're not here.
You might
yet.
have jury rigged something weird. You know
Yeah.
those like genius types. They always get ideas and think they can cut corners.
Yeah,
I used to have there was a foreman that used to work with my daddy named Stu. He could always figure out things like, when there were some construction materials like needed to be like moved around about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
As the girl's going, Daria will just very impolitely, not in an aggressive way, but she'll just basically snatch her notebook and just go, just need to borrow this to write a few notes down. Hope you don't mind. Make sure you get it back. And then just kind of turn her back on her and turn back to the group.
That flick.
Now you're going to hand her another business card.
And here's my business.
Here's my business card. Both hands now.
That's what was printing out. That's
yeah.
She kind of sputters a little bit, but you're a professor and she's a student. Yes, ma'am.
Down.
How's she list?
And I'm going to kind of write down a few of the things that everyone's saying about different computers and connections and things, just so it's there, almost just so it's logged. I think in this business sense, there's almost like in Daria's head, there's almost like a legal procedural here. She wants to be able to like really pull Arthur over the coals if she has to, if there's going to be a big investment in this. But are there any other notes in the notebook?
Yeah, she's been using this notebook all summer, which is why she was reluctant to give it up. But you're a professor and she's not. You can give me a spot hidden.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to
Push it.
push the roll.
Yes.
And the way I'm going to push the roll is by putting my cigarette in the hand that I'm using to lean on the notebook with.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Okay.
Oh, you singe it.
We're on fire, guys.
Oh,
poor
dang it.
research student.
Steve, this must be the hardest game to keeper for, because as a keeper, surely what you want to do constantly is go, here's a narrative point, here's something for you to engage with, and all we're doing is going, nope.
Fuck that.
Sorry, a box of clues? No. Fuck that. Out the window.
It's like what they
Whoops,
say
I dropped
about running D&D. You plan for King Arthur and the sword and the stone, and you get Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So yeah, I think well, it's not a fumble, so I don't think it goes up in a ball of flame, but it is starting to singe around the edges. You might want to do something about that before it does go up in a ball of flame.
Is there an obvious fire extinguisher anywhere? I mean, I'm a construction guy, so I'm going to look for the fire extinguisher right off the bat.
It's the 1970s, so you have to hunt a little bit. I think you eventually find one out in the hall.
Okay, all right.
I'll be stamping on it when Stan comes back.
Probably it's out by that point, I'm going to guess. But yeah. Do I need to make a roll for it or anything?
No,
Am I
no,
good?
that's okay.
Okay, all right, good.
I guess the slow pull shot. You see the notebook just kind of being thrown into the trash can, and the camera pulls back. You just see a page that's just kind of curled with the heat that just says "Important dissertation notes. Do not lose." It just kind of curls in the bin, and it's just like, right. Don't worry about that. Sorry, everybody. Slight distraction. Computers. We were talking about the Weasel.
Yes.
So where's this Professor Bernard anyway? I thought we had an appointment.
Yeah.
Meet him here, and I assumed Arthur would be joining again for the demonstration, but
Myra, so you haven't seen either Arthur, the visiting academic, or Dr. Bernard, have you?
Myra has left by this point. Otherwise, she would be freaking out about what's happening to her notebook.
Okay, fair enough.
perhaps Bernard's in his office, or even Richard can tell us where he went if they at least came in this morning.
Yeah,
If you
for sure.
go and find someone, go and find Bernard. Someone go and find Fail. I'll
And-
knock on Baker's door.
Perhaps someone, if anyone has connections, say at maybe the Orne Library, maybe we can find out what this Latin is.
That would
here.
not be me. No. Whatever connections I had, I set them on fire.
Let's
Anyway.
go knock on the office doors. The silly buggers are probably
Yes.
in there having a coffee. They thought we were meeting there. Let's
Yeah.
go and find Bernard's office. We'll see if Fail's around. If not, we've got Richards, who's that very put out of nose chap, thinking Arthur's going to take over his special spot. And then lastly, that plonker who was in here taking away the printer, Ralph Baker. Let's go knock on some bloody doors.
Sounds
And
great.
she'll power walk straight out of there, lighting up a cigarette, straight to where do we think first, team? Bernard's office.
Think of Bernard's.
Yeah, that seems the most obvious.
That's where we go, keeper. Bernard, open the bloody door.
Being a dean, he has a secretary who kind of intercedes. He's a very busy man. I can make him a
We did have an
appointment later in the
appointment.
day. Maybe.
No. We arranged to meet right this morning.
Yes, he's late to our appointment. We have
Tell-
We've come here to find him.
Tell him the
Oh.
weasel's on fire. The weasel's on fire.
He'll know what it means.
Yeah, I think that gets his attention. Even though he's in the middle of a faculty meeting.
Whoops. Okay.
Yes, it is. What can I do for you?
Where's Arthur? Arthur Fail. Oh, sorry. Is this Bernard now?
You were going to Dean Bernard, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Is this Dean Bernard now that we're speaking to?
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. What do you mean? What can you do for us? You bloody called us to a meeting, Bernard.
Yes. He gives you basically a little pamphlet. Part of what they want to test is this thing as intuitive as we think it is. So with pretty much any other computer, you would need a whole manual. You'd need books. In theory, the idea seems to be, try it with this. See if you can figure it out, because that's what we're marketing.
Wait. I look at Daria. This is what it is. It's like an assessment center. He just plonked us into the room with the malfunctioning printer and the Weasel switched on, and he wants us to solve it. That's what it is. I mean, he's not going to mark this, is he? Obviously, you don't need marks, but
Nonsense.
I know that's how that's
way past
to
the
be
point.
fixed.
I am
Nothing
not
needs to be
being
repaired.
assessed.
It's all fine. It's all
Listen.
fine.
Professor, we will go and look at the intuitiveness of your machine, but rest assured, Professor,
Dean,
when we
please.
organize a meeting, Dean of Science, of the overfunded, did you say, Bob? Overfunded science?
It's something we're looking into.
Perhaps the business faculty might lend their expertise to the audit faculty and look at that funding, Dean. But we'll go and assess your machine, shall we, and come back to you. But the next time we plan a bloody meeting, Dr. Bernard, Dean, we expect you to bloody be there. And you can get Arthur Fail off his rear end, his glutamus maximus, and send him on his bloody way, because we're going to have a few questions for him as well. I mean, if I can tell you, as the head of business at this school, if this was a business meeting, it would be what we call in the business piss poor, Bernard. I'm just saying. Isn't that right, Bob?
Absolutely. This is unacceptable. Bernard, you were so enthusiastic about showing this yesterday. You gave us such a salesman's speech and everything, and now today, you weren't even here to give a speech. You weren't there. We had to come find you.
That's right.
Can I possibly roll like a psychology on Bernard to see like why he's so worried? Is it actually like, did we actually just pull him out of a faculty meeting? Like, we did have an appointment with him and he didn't show up to it, and he's acting like nonchalant about that part, which seems odd.
You can give me a psych, or you can give me a spot hidden.
I go psychology. Oh, once again, 5 under 69, extreme success.
Yeah, 69 over 50 spot hidden. So, yeah.
Dr. Daria over here speaking Bob's language about numbers and just money that's costing the university, and Bob is dialed in.
I think you get the sense that whatever meeting you were calling him out of has to be somebody awfully important and high ranking who he does not want to be walking away from. I promise you, I will be along in about 15, 20 minutes. I'll check on you all. I promise. I just need to get back to my meeting, but I will be with you in just a few minutes. Above game, I will remind you that his plan was to do this all yesterday, and then they had to shut the lab, so
Fair enough.
he hadn't made up space this morning in the schedule. So,
Well, there's a couple other places that we should run by. Let's stop by Dr. Richards' office real quick on our way back to the lab. Obviously, I think that we've got as far as we can go here.
And he wants us to test a few things. If we can get this out of the bloody way by the time he gets there, we can push this meeting forward. And I want to see that Arthur. So where to next? Do you think Arthur's got an office? He's a visiting...
Yeah, that's true.
Visiting entity? He's not a
There's
professor.
directory anywhere on the wall that says like so-and-so's office and stuff that would maybe help us.
What's the next office
as you're
door?
leaving the dean's office, his secretary is happy to point you the way.
Oh yeah,
Perfect. There's somebody you can actually ask for things. I forget about these things.
secretary.
Right.
Where's Arthur Fell?
She points out the way to his office. He
got an
does have
office?
one. It's one of the visiting professor kind of places. I'm sure you have similar things in your department.
Yes.
The basement.
All right. Right.
About assigning, I don't know about assigning offices to visiting professors. That seems like a misuse of resources. But if Arthur can come up with something as nifty as the Weasel, maybe we can overlook it.
If he's coming up with something as nifty as the Weasel, he can have an office over in the business building. We need to keep him with the right people, thinking in the right way. Arthur's office. Arthur!
Okay, so you're going to see Arthur. All right. Good morning. I sorry I wasn't available to greet you when you got in. I hope everything's going delightfully well this morning.
It's not, dude.
Yeah, actually.
How can I help?
We think your host, Dr. Bernard, wants us to go and test trial the intuitive aspect of the Weasel. But we're a little bit of a loss. Do we go up to it and just start punching numbers and letters in? We're wondering if you could kind of be there, really, just to help navigate us through that process.
And also, there was a technical problem in the computer lab that had Mr. Baker all in a tiff. There's a printer malfunction that nobody could quite explain.
So just a loose connection. Pleasure problems I don't know all the time. It's hardly of interest to me, but I am happy to come with you and help get you started if that would help.
Just to give us a sense of what we're doing here, I think we all bring a level of expertise, but what is it you're looking for us to do? Are we running numbers here? Are we reaching cross-program numbers here? Are we looking, do we if we're testing this machine with our expertise, I think we want to know what's the scale of what you want us to test.
Okay, so he's going to walk you back to the lab, help you get started. He'll give you some parameters for exactly what they want to test. If in your particular fields, what would what interests you, what excites you about computer technology? I'd like to be able to X.
Blueprints.
Live financial communication between companies and banks.
And analyzing large amounts of data.
Probably similar, large amounts of data, specifically, looking at budgets and financial forecasts.
Okay. Okay, so he helps you get started. It is, in fact, remarkably intuitive. Once you have a general idea of what kind of input the Weasel's looking for, put it this way, in mechanical terms, you don't even need a computer use roll. You may need an intelligence roll to see exactly how much you're able to coax out of this thing. But long story short, it is very, very impressive. There's only so much they can show you about the live financial communication between institutions. That depends on what's connected to what. But on a model basis, you can certainly send and receive between the different computers they have hooked up. So it kind of works as a scale model kind of thing. The blueprints are remarkably intuitive. It doesn't have a mouse, but it's about as intuitive as you can be without one. Wall here, needs structural support over here. Once you run through a couple of examples, you really quickly get the hang of it. Once he's sure that you're pretty confident, Arthur's gonna leave you to it. Let you. Basically, they want to know where people get stuck so they can fix that. So he's trying not to babysit too terribly much. So he leaves you to it. You're spend a couple hours maybe running your various scenarios. You can each give me an intelligence roll. We'll see how things go.
Can I just say that even in 1978, our Twitch chat is trolling us. And by Twitch chat, I mean Charlie. He's saying, we've tried chewing on the computer, patting it, everything apart from the keyboard. We've tried licking it, turning it on and off. No. I'd say that's pretty fair, though. I think Charlie is bang on the money in terms of our engagement with this device. Extreme success. Oh, not as good as somebody else's extreme success.
Yeah.
Don't with the science.
Classic
Yeah.
Bob.
Bob can only
I-
fumble or get extreme successes. It's one or the other.
I full on licked it because I at first I like, yes, I got a 0 and then another one 0. So yeah, I hardcore flubbed that one. Whoopee. Well, those blueprints are pretty.
So that's not a fumble though, is it?
Yes. Well, there's that.
You can't roll a 0, so it's got to be 100.
Yeah, it was
exactly.
000. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
But we do have two.
I was so
extreme
excited
successes.
too.
So whilst Professor Stan Coleman is fumbling, maybe one of our extreme successes, maybe mine, I could just like rugby tackle him to the ground or something to allow the other extreme success to happen.
Yeah.
Professor Stan put some non-Euclidean geometry into those blueprints.
Oh, peanut butter. I was having a peanut butter sandwich. I'm like, yeah, all right. So
Yeah, that's a floppy disk drive. It's not for your sandwich. Yeah.
shit. That was the disposal. Huh.
So it takes Professor Coleman a little bit longer than the rest of you to really get the hang of it. But it does do what it says on the tin, which is great. For those of you who succeeded, as screens of data are scrolling by, three of you see something a little bit weird. It's not entirely fair to ask you to read the handout for it, but I think you'll get the.
OICGUGJKUGIS. Yeah, that would take some time.
Noise.
There are a couple. Noise. There are a couple of standout moments where it's noise for a couple of sentences, and then a dash, and then I know what you seek dash, and then lots of more significant noise, and then tell no one, and then further significant noise, and then the final part of it is Weasel arrow, as in, is that the Weasel waiting for its next command?
Yep. Yeah, that's the prompt. It's just flashing there, pulsing there, quietly waiting for what you want to do next.
I suppose the three of us might look at each other then, whilst Professor Stan Coleman is, I don't know, at this point, cleaning windows.
Fluorescent lights. I hate these fluorescent lights.
But the three of us,
as you're looking at each other, if those of you who succeeded can make a power roll.
Oh, nice.
it's happening.
It's happening.
Yes. Yes.
It's a 97 over 60. Another fail.
92 here.
And a 43 under 50. Yeah.
Dr. Daria's the only one that's got this.
Okay. So, Anne, Sally, and Bob, if you can make a note of one failed power roll, you don't immediately notice anything, but keep that note for later. But Daria,
Yes.
as you're sitting there staring at the screen, looking at each other, your head starts to swim for a moment. The screen kind of goes out of focus for a second, as if you're starting to get a migraine or something. And you focus in on that prompt, Weasel. And for just a second, you could swear it says something else. It's only for a second. Your head is pounding, but you could swear XINJTOQ, and then it goes back to Weasel, Weasel, Weasel.
I will grab the young intern's burnt notes out of the bin. That on the page that says "super amazing dissertation notes. Do not lose / burn." I'll turn over to the other side of it, and in whatever blank space, I'll write XINJTOQ.
Yep.
And then look at the others and just kind of hold it out to them and just say, did you hear that? Did you hear that the letters there from the Weasel?
What?
Doctor, no. I mean, it's this machine just seems to be fantastic. What was there something that it did wrong with your tests?
No, the next command. It came up with the Weasel as the next command, but without having to touch the keyboard. My God. Without having to touch the keyboard, it communicated. I guess. Did you not hear it? Must have been through the Does it have speakers? Like a record player. Does it have speakers?
It does not. It's more of something that you saw, but you're a little bit scrambled at the moment. As her head is starting to clear.
It must have speakers somewhere. I mean, it must have them somewhere because it communicated those letters. XINJ, TOQ. XI, and I look at the keyboard. XINJ TOQ, and I'm going to lean over and type them in.
It just says command not found.
But it's intuitive. So I'll type in Weasel, what does XINJ TOQ mean? I've actually started typing it in the chat just to freak out the chat. I'm using the chat like as if it's Weasel. So I feel like I should encourage that to everybody. Anything we type into Weasel now goes into the chat.
Yeah, if all the chat can roll a power roller really fast, that'd be great.
Yes, Derek.
Nice.
Heavy Valley Girl says it comes up as 800B5, which is boobs.
Oh,
Thank you, Heather. Classic.
of course it
Classic
does.
Cthulhu. Yeah. So yeah, I'll type it in. I'll just say, Weasel, what does this mean?
Weasel gives you the computer equivalent of a shrug. Like, I've never heard of that.
I'm getting a little bit, I feel a bit embarrassed, but a bit annoyed at this point. So I'm going to jump back to the thing that it said on the screen a second ago in between the garbage. And I'm going to type in and say, Weasel, what do I seek? Or what do we seek? Because it said, it was 2 hours, wasn't it? Weasel, what do we seek?
It summarizes, I don't know, blueprints and data analysis and the examples you've been running through. It appears to have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm gonna. Daria gets up and she's just like, "Oh, for God's sake!" And she just lights a cigarette and walks off to the side of the room.
Seeing Daria put in the phrase like, "What does blank mean?" Bob's gonna turn over to Aunt Sally and be like, "Do you still have that paper with the Latin? Maybe
Sure. Yeah.
can we enter that Latin phrase into Weasel?"
Sure. It's a few lines of text, but going back and forth between the printout and the screen. You enter it, and it seems to be having trouble translating. It translates a few words. One of my favorite things about this scenario, if you try and run this text through a translator, the one part that actually comes up as anything says "Hello World," which anybody who's ever worked with WordPress is familiar with.
Yes, of course it does.
But yeah, the rest of it is mystifying to the machine, it seems.
So
I guess this wasn't a command either. Oh well.
Whoever's at the keyboard, ask it. What's its main function? Weasel, what is your job? What do you do?
It recaps what was on the promotional flyer. Mini computer power on microcomputer size, and runs through basically what you already know.
Right, Bob and Stan. We're put in this room with the intention of testing this bloody thing, right?
Yeah.
We want to see what it's capable of. This could be something that could bring a lot of money into Arkham University. The Miskatonic University is the crown jewel of Arkham in academia, obviously. But we could, in this moment, test this in a way that takes it beyond what Dr. Bernard, the dean, wants. And I think probably puts us past any suspicion, doubt, questions we have about Arthur Fail. Anne, have you still got that little bit of paper?
This one here.
Yeah. The printout that was all Yahoo nonsense.
Yeah, the one that Bob's just used to input all that. Yeah. Did you not watch?
Well, I'm kind of there, like, stubbing out a cigarette and lighting another one. Look, when you put that in, do you add a command to it?
Well, it depends on which language the computer speaks. We don't know what it means. These could be commands or not. And I guess Bob's test concluded that they weren't.
well, so that weird little phrase that you said earlier that it spat back at you, or you thought you heard there, Daria. What if we sent that out to all the other computers?
Oh, very good. One of them's going to pop up with some kind of an understanding of what that nonsensical phrase means.
Yeah, and maybe again because it's connected to everything. Maybe So can we again? I mean, I don't I don't want to touch it at this point, but someone else who has some computers, and Sally perhaps.
Actually, I'm sort of, yeah, well, this is interesting, but like this morning has been such a big disappointment. And I'm sort of, as everybody is doing these things, as starting with Bob typing in all that wall of text, and like, oh, man, I've got that floppy disk in my pocket. I really wanted to start looking into using this thing for my research, and here the morning is growing late, and I've still not got anything done, and that dissertation is not going to write itself, and so, like, thinking back on the I know what you seek, I'm sort of rubbing my temples and thinking of my research really hard.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if there's such a thing as an active power roll.
Yeah. Go ahead and give it a shot and see what happens.
Come on.
Extreme! 765.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a great response. Okay.
Yeah, the fun and terrifying part of running any scenario is, okay, I have no idea where this branch goes, so let's figure it out. So extreme success on POW. You're staring at the screen, trying to make sense of things.
Like the important people are using this, I can't get to the keyboard, I can't do the thing that I want, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could.
So as you're staring at the screen over somebody else's shoulder, you see the same thing that Daria did earlier. Weasel, Jintok, however you want to pronounce that. For you, it flashes back and forth a couple times between Weasel and Jintok. Which to me, by the way, sounds very Klingon, but that's just another universe entirely.
Yeah, I say it out loud. Jintok, is that what you just said? Is that what it said to you?
That's right. Zintok. Zinjtok. Zintok.
I saw that. It just flashed that at me. Yeah. Gosh, that's got to mean something.
Stan, Bob, you saw Zintok, right?
No. What do you mean you saw it, like looking behind it and is over my shoulder as I'm actively using it? I'm like, no, I've been looking at it the whole time.
And Sally saw that while you were typing, so you were focusing on the screen. You would have seen it if anything had changed.
The fluorescent lights are getting to you.
No, I'm sure you blinked.
Bob, do us a favor. Type in Weasel, who is Zintok?
Type it in.
Unknown.
So, I want to posit something to the group here. We seem to be a bit stymied, and there's a thing here, this Zintok thing that the two of you keep talking about that Bob and I haven't really seen. But we totally believe you. However, this is new technology. Maybe we should either get Arthur or Richards to come in here and see what they think about this.
Yeah, I mean, like was said earlier, we're here to test it, and if it passed with flying colors on all of our other tests, but if it's throwing out this strange phrase, I guess that's a result of our testing. Yes, that's it doing something incorrect. Perhaps we should report it to Arthur.
Well, Arthur might be a great shout, but what was his name? Richards. Stan, you said Richards.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a great test to get somebody in here who isn't Arthur or who isn't Dean Bernard? Richards might come in here and throw a few curveballs. Isn't that what you Americans say?
It might be good to get a computer scientist anyway. Maybe this is some obscure programming language that only a really old hand might know.
Yeah. He seems like he's from the punch card days. He's probably got some cues. Yeah.
Very true. If anyone wants to see this machine fail and this test not work, it is Richard's.
Yeah. You know,
The perfect test.
Shall I grab him?
Yes, good man.
All right.
Stand. Go
Great
get
idea.
Richards.
So, do I have an idea of where his office is?
Okay, so you're going to talk to Richards?
Yeah, see if I can talk him into coming down here. And, you know, the computer's on fire again.
Okay, all right. So you find Richards pacing in the hall, trying to work out some puzzle he's been working on. You're gonna need some kind of a social role to get him to focus on you.
Excellent. Something that this guy is just freaking awesome at. Let's take a look here. Let's see. I'm certainly not going to try to use something like computer use on him. Charm doesn't seem like the kind
So
of thing
like
he'd
charm,
do.
fast talk, persuade, something like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Persuade. Where is that? Nah. You know what? Much as it doesn't seem like it necessarily fits, why not? I'll try to be charming. Doc, Dr. Richards, how are you today? Oh my God. I got a 32 on a 40 frickin' 5. Yeah. Actually made one.
You're the nicest person he's ever seen.
Right. So, Dr. Richards, could I please interrupt you for a second? There's something that only you could help me sort out.
I'm happy to talk, but outside. Step outside, get
okay.
a smoke.
Okay.
You don't need a psych roll to know that he seems nervous. So you step outside. Is it just you, or are you bringing your friends with you?
The rest of you, I'm fine dragging everybody along. It doesn't matter to me. I'll bring it at least. So Bob's on the keyboard, and are you backing him up, or?
There's a cigarette break.
Fair enough.
Dr. Daria is already.
Yeah, I'm feeling. I'm feeling now that I've seen the flashing prompt. I'm really like not inclined to leave the thing alone in case it happens again.
Okay, so Daria and I will be out with the professor. Daria again is, I mean, you know, she's inside, she's outside, she's lighting up. I mean, yeah.
Where are you going? Stand! She just kind of like chases after you, follows you.
So, Professor, you yes.
What can I help you with?
So we're working with the computer, the Weasel, and it seemed that you seem to be bothered by that.
I looked at this thing forwards and backwards. It doesn't make sense.
When doesn't make
Everything
sense?
I ever learned, it shouldn't be able to do what it does. Grumble.
So you shouldn't be able to do what it does. What's it doing?
What shouldn't it be doing?
As far as I can tell, there's nothing terribly special about the hardware. It shouldn't.
Well,
Shouldn't be as
Professor,
powerful as it is.
does the syntax is it X or Z?
X.
XINJTOQ. Does that make any sense to you?
Sounds.
Zingtalk. Zingtao? Zingtalk?
Where did you see that?
Weasel.
Weasel.
It's very weird.
Why?
I've never seen it spit out anything as exotic as that. But I'm
Is it
going
a
to assume
word?
that
Is it a command?
you exposit. Yes. Explain
Okay.
what was going on and
Yes.
when it came up and such. That's very strange. What? Don't know what they're up to, but look, you leave that with me. I'm gonna look into it. Something doesn't smell right here.
Yeah, I'm curious, Professor. Something that is there anything that we can do to help here?
If we were testing it,
Yes.
which we are, and you thought, do you know what would be a bloody good test, or do you know what would be something that really finds out what it's actually doing? What would we prompt? What would our command be for the Weasel?
I haven't had much of a chance to work with it myself. Curious to know what it makes of its own schematics.
It popped up at one point with jargon, with nonsense, but within that there was a break. There was a moment where it said, "I know what you seek," and then there was more jargon, not binary, not a false font or anything like that, just absolute jargon. And then it said, "Tell no one." Obviously, we're breaking that rule. We're talking to you, but we trust you. Keep it a secret. But then it was more jargon. But there were those two things. I know what you seek, and tell no one. This is before it said Jing Tao talk. Jing talk. What do you think Weasel thinks we're seeking? Because I think that's the thing. If we can find that thing, that's what we're going to ask it, to challenge it on. You don't want Arthur kind of making this, hiding all the little secrets, do you? Because this is what he's doing. He's hiding all the secrets here. If we don't find out what this is really doing, he's going to get away with it. You know that.
And he'll take the glory for anything that comes on the other side. It'd be great for you to step in and show them where the real power lies.
Not just the glory, Richards, but the money. God, the money. Arthur's
Think
going to
of the
make
research.
The research and the money, Richards.
Maybe you could accompany us back to where the dean. The dean, don't worry about the dean. The dean's busy.
Oh, the dean's so busy. He's in a meeting with big shots, and we've got the accountant with us as well, Bob. He's fantastic. Bob is going to absolutely provide the dean with weeks worth of work after this. I can assure you of that. You don't need to worry about the dean. Richards, you listen to Professor Coleman.
Exactly.
I promise you, I'm going to look into this. I trusted Arthur from the start, but you need to be careful.
Fair enough.
I'm going to look into it, but you leave it with me. Check back with me later. I'll see if I can find anything.
So we kind of pass all that information on to Bob and Anne, and we come back in to see what they've been doing in the time that we've been out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Bob's been the one sitting at the computer, he's just going to do the task assigned to him, I guess. Just more testing of things on the computer. More mundane tasks.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that the actual professors are gone, I might try and convince you to let me put in my floppy with data.
Yeah.
Let's see if it can read my thing.
Yeah, Bob will happily cede the seat to you.
And I slide in the floppy. Now let's see about this system compatibility. I saved this one at the library yesterday, whichever make computer that was.
Okay. So this is just data you're feeding in and seeing if it can Understand? Okay.
Yes.
Remind me what was the data?
Just the corpus data that my research is on. It's like, sort of the results of interviews.
Okay. So it crunches the data. It identifies common keywords and where things seem to connect. It seems like a remarkably effective research tool. And if you can give me an intelligence roll again to see exactly how helpful it is.
That's a success.
Yeah, it helps you make some connections you hadn't seen in the data yourself. You can see why this is going to be relevant.
Look at it. It's gorgeous. Look how fast it is.
I'm sure half understanding maybe the output of it, but seeing that Aunt Sally's clearly getting the expected output.
This could be worth it, whatever it costs. It's going to speed up everybody's research.
Well, I'd like to hear that.
And having succeeded on that intelligence roll, if you can make a PAL roll.
Yay! And that would be my second failure at a 99.
Ooh.
Okay.
Back on it again. The team's back together.
So your head buzzes for a second. Things get a little bit blurry. They come back. And you're looking at the keywords. You're looking at the output that was absolutely crystal clear to you a moment ago. And you're struggling to understand it. It seems suddenly more complicated than it was, harder than it was for you to understand.
Maybe maybe Professor Coleman was right. I think these slides are giving me a migraine.
I'm going to go ahead and have y'all make a couple more rolls. And Sally, if you can roll 2d6. Bob, if you can roll 1d6.
There's a 2 for Bob.
Yep.
And 4 for Anne Sally.
So, Bob, you hadn't really noticed because it's relatively subtle and you're dealing with stuff you don't know much about. But you've lost 2 points of intelligence. Anne has lost 4. And we'll be back after a short break.
Wow. That fucking sucks.
And welcome back to the Miskatonic Playhouse, where we are midway through Pop Goes the Weasel by Chris Stewart. So 2 of our investigators have lost some intelligence. We've had seen some strange things on the screen of the brand new computer. What would you like to do from here?
Well, are we? Have we returned yet from Professor Richards?
Sure. You check back in with each other.
Because we shared back the information, didn't we? We were kind of sharing back that what Richard said, how he was going to look into Zingtok, and he thought that was a weird thing. He didn't quite tell us why, but he was preoccupied with why that was a weird thing, and he's going to look into that, and hopefully he's going to come find us. when he realizes what that is, I'm sure it will be an opportune moment, knowing our
But-
roles.
He recognized it then. He
Well,
it
he
meant
seemed
something
to.
him.
But he reacted. We questioned him and said, "What does it mean?" And he seemed lost in his own processing thoughts. You know what these computer folk are like, Bob?
Unfortunately. Oh, we ran Weasel through some more tests, and Sally put in what was it? Some data related to your studies or dissertation or something.
Yeah, it analyzed it really fast, but I think I got a head rush or something because I was so excited. Now I've got a bit of a headache. If Richards is going to take a few hours, maybe it's time for a break.
I would say just as we come back into this, in the chat, our wonderful Charlie Creek, who's one of our best pals and does is one of us, the Playhouse here, he's dropped in saying, if it helps and keeps Steve sane, which I think is the main.
The vote is
here,
already
not
left on that
making
one.
not making the keeper make sanity rolls. He says that he will, as a one-off offer, he will drop a £5 coffee donation, which is our subscription service at the Miskatonic Playhouse here, so that during the game we can, as a complete one-off, we can turn a failure into a success or a success into a hard success. Which is and he's gone ahead and done it. So
Nice. Thank
we
you.
yeah, we
Charlie, you're a
established quite early on
star.
that the Playhouse is up for bribery, and this is exactly
Of
that.
course.
He's bribing the game.
We like
to
it.
make us investigators do something.
In this
in
case,
what
we
he's doing.
really need to.
Yeah,
So-
we need the help.
So,
Yes.
obviously, Steve, as keeper, you get the big say on all of that goes down. But investigators, we've got an opportunity. The next time we inevitably screw something up, by the gift of the almighty Charlie, we've got the opportunity to choose that a failure becomes a success or a success becomes a hard success. So, there we go. What are we doing? Sorry, I massively interrupted. And thank you, Charlie. You are a beautiful, beautiful human being.
So, and Sally and I had just finished another round of tests. We're both being a little off, and Sally was complaining about the fluorescent lights. Possibly the two of you want to switch off, run some more tests, or is there somewhere else we should? If Richards is looking into this, I mean, I don't even know if it's a word that you two say you saw, but
Things talk.
yeah.
We could go to the library and maybe it's a language that we just don't speak.
You guys could go to the.
Yeah, I could go to the library. I like the library.
Need a break? Stan, we going to play with the computer? What are we going to do?
Well, it can't hurt.
I mean, surely not. I think that's what the most common phrase in a Call of Cthulhu scenario.
Exactly.
Can't.
It'll be fine.
Right. Well, Bob, Anne, we'll be here. If not, give the landline a call. Let us know where you're going, what you're up to, what you find out.
Excellent. And I'll let you lead the way. I assume you're probably more versed in the library and know the staff more than I do. I don't know last time I was in there.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I lived in there for the last 3 years. Ooh. And I guess I find the dictionary section where, 200 different languages greet us, and it's going to be a fun task to look at all the XIN and then nothing words.
But it will be very
Fine,
helpful the
we're-
next time you play Scrabble.
Right? Yes. First thing that I want to do is I want to ask the Weasel Actually, I'm just going to type in the following things: Professor L. Bernard, Arthur Fail, and Dr. M. Richards. I'm going to type those into the prompt and see what it tells me.
You get a brief bio of each of them.
Wow. Okay.
Richards had some well-received papers, maybe 10 years ago. Failed his degrees and not finishing the doctorate and coming over from MIT. The dean seems to have gone all in on this project. It's really, really important to him that it succeed. Meanwhile, at the library, give me a spot hidden, both of you.
Oh,
Or library use works as well. So we've got 1 success, 2 success.
2 success.
yay!
Okay.
It's all Charlie's doing. He's turning Roll20 around for us.
Roll20 does not want you to be able to cash in the freebie. So as you're looking through dictionaries, looking through encyclopedias, you notice another librarian go by with their cart full of books. It occurs to you they're wheeling the books away from the stacks. Seems a little bit odd. You're continuing to dig. Eventually, Miss Stein comes over. Can I help you? It looks like you've been struggling for a little while.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's very kind. And I show her my notepad with a word written on it. We've come across this odd phrase in the computer lab, and it didn't seem to be a command or anything. So we were just wondering if we could find any reference to this word here.
Well, it's not any language I recognize.
Right?
Anything else
Odd
you're looking
consonants?
for? I can check my my indices, but anything else you're
I know that's not what you were looking to help us with, but were they taking those books just now?
Oh. We've Miskatonic has been chosen to be part of an experiment, digitizing the collection to share information between universities. They said that we had such a large collection in one place. It was an astonishing place to start.
Are they, putting them on
I will admit,
microfiche or something? That's exciting.
It is exciting. It's new. I have to admit, I don't think electronic research will ever be the same. Can't replace the feel, the smell of real books.
Oh, is it something to do with the new computer that they're building over there? That young prodigy, Mr. Fail. We've just come over from Professor Bernard's lab, and they've got a new computer, and it just crunched my data in a fraction of the usual time.
Really is amazing how fast things are advancing these days, isn't it?
They really are. It's what a time to be alive.
Yes. Do you, I guess, how long has this digitization project been going on? How many books approximately have you scanned in? It's possible if this computer is reading those that this phrase showed up in one of those scanned books. Do you have a list or directory possibly of the ones that have been sent in?
I'm sure she can give you a number. I, Steve, have no sense of the scale of a university library in terms of number of books. But if you explain what you've seen so far, there's no. I mean, there's a cable between the Weasel and the Apple II, between the Weasel and the Commodore. There's nothing like that here. They're using using an outside network. It's the 70s, so probably ARPANET. So many exciting things are happening in computers at the same time, not necessarily connected. Above game, when I was in college, I was part of our experiment with digitizing the collection at my college, which was kind of cool. Anyway, so Miss Stein is going to go off and check her indexes and see what
She's so helpful. What a nice lady. I can see why Coleman, which I don't know anything about, would want to hang out with her.
I will say thank you for not mentioning him when you were speaking.
Good idea. American Graffiti was good though. Yeah. She missed out.
It takes her a little while, and it probably takes a little bit of convincing for you. But in the interest of keeping things moving, she eventually does come back. She's found one reference to Jintok in a book in the restricted section.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought to look there. How does the computer? Oh well. Anyway,
to answer your question, I guarantee this one has not been scanned. We are not allowing them anywhere close to this collection. It stays right here.
Oh, why?
Of course, rightfully so.
No. You will not touch anything else. You will not take anything from this room. Understood?
Oh, we may see. Thank you so much. I thought you had. Oh wow, thank you so much.
She is so much nicer than Henry Armitage was back in the day. So she leads you in.
I've never been in there in all my years, and this is like my best day at Miskatonic yet.
It's the one place that will always smell like books, which is why she's such a fan of it. So for those not in the know, the restricted section is where all the tomes and ancient books and mythos materials are generally found. And hunting along the shelf, in between all these big, fat, leather-bound, well, mostly leather-bound, some are kind of pale, but we'll put those back. In between all of those tomes, you find a book that surely must be just misfiled. It's a hardback mathematics textbook called Principles of Incremental Calculation. At first, you have no idea why she's pointing you to this thing.
That looks like Bob's wheelhouse.
Eventually,
I'm mildly disappointed.
Eventually, you find one chapter in particular. It's talking about iterations where you do the same process over and over and over again. It's talking about the limitations of brute force calculation, why you have to find theoretical ways to your answer. And by way of an example, it tells the story of an Egyptian pharaoh, Pharaoh Brahim, who apparently found a summoning ritual that was supposed to summon something called Jintok. There are two peculiar things about this ritual. Number one is that it apparently gathers strength as it progresses. But number two, the important thing to the author, is that it needs not just a chant, but it needs a chant to be repeated billions of times. So this Egyptian pharaoh took 50,000 slaves, made them chant over and over and over again for days, for weeks, still couldn't get anywhere close to the goal. Clearly, it's impossible. Nothing will ever get us there. And Sally, are you still carrying that printout around?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. In the sidebar in the textbook, it includes an excerpt from the chant that the pharaoh used. It looks remarkably familiar.
Oh! Will you look at that, Bob?
I am also going to need a sanity check. This is, even if it's a math book, still a mythos tome.
Math books need sanity checks regardless.
100%.
Well, yes, but
And when I say 100%, I mean 100% roll on the math book.
Right.
Sanity roll.
Yeah. As usual, Bob got another failure.
okay.
Go
Do you want to
Bob.
let that stand or cash in your?
Oh no, yeah, we'll let that one stand. I'm not going to use the.
Okay. You're going to lose 1d3 points of sanity. You're also both going to gain 1 point of Cthulhu mythos and lose 1 point from your maximum sanity.
Okay. For those at home wondering, I did in fact roll a 3 out of D3, so maximum sanity loss.
Nice. Beautiful. Of course he did.
Mm-hmm.
So while they're digging into mythos tomes and things that should not be read and things that should not be known, what are Daria and Stan up to?
Just before we get into it, I should announce in the chat where it's absolutely firing off. Heather Valley Girl, one of our very own amazing keepers and players, has decided to up the ante and match Charlie's contribution to the Playhouse with the same offer that we also get a turn a failure into success or a success into a hard success. So I think the immediate thing, the most important thing, especially since Bob just denied the ability to use one of those on a sanity roll, I think it's only fair that if I type into Weasel, can you tell me the annual income versus expenditure?
Before you do, I just want to point out to our audience that there is a caveat. Valley Girl Heather's offer is only valid if Newman dies in a splendid fashion.
Yeah, had to say it out loud, Steve.
Hell yeah.
Say it out loud.
I'm just saying.
Oh, standard Playhouse business. There we go.
Get him, Heather.
So, get him, Heather. I love it. Heather's at home just going, and this is how I'm going to kill Newman. Send. You did, Heather. You promised me. She's saying in the chat. So with Weasel, with I think with Bob and Anne, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Gene, but with Bob and Anne doing such excellent research and actually finding things out and moving this mystery forward. Daria is at the computer, or at least for a moment, perhaps before Stan does what he's going to do. And she is just typing in business information. Weasel, can you tell me the name of the can you tell me the annual income versus expenditure of the Himika Pharmaceuticals, Ben and Jerry's, and Action Computer Enterprise? Enter. And she just wants to see the numbers just churn out of these relatively new companies. She just wants to see what Weasel's able to do.
Okay, so today that would be a drop dead simple kind of search, but it does kind of require an internet, a larger source of information. The Weasel can do amazing data processing, but its access to retrieving facts about the world is kind of limited to its immediate cabled together network.
So recognizing that, I will provide what we probably use in some of the business lessons, some of the false, kind of essentially just fabricated financial accounts for certain businesses, and just as a processing power, just to look in terms of how Weasel works, and just go, here's 3 companies, these are their incomes, outgoings, pre-tax, post-tax, etc., etc., etc. What's the verdict, and just plug that all into Weasel and say work it out, just to see, knowing how long it would take humans to do it with computers, just to see how long this machine would take to do it.
Okay. So first of all, roll the intelligence. See how this goes. Doesn't require expertise, but it does require, awesome.
An extreme success, 13 under 70.
Okay. In which case you're gonna roll POW.
Oh dear. A failure, 75 over 50.
Roll me 2d6 and lose some intelligence.
2d6. Holy shimoli. Okay. Oh my god, 8.
Okay. It does come up with a remarkable analysis. It's at least as good as what you would make of those numbers. Once it's got the data, it can do some amazing things with it. It's just gotta provide the data in the first place.
And does Daria lose 8 points of intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I think for a moment there, perhaps what Stan sees is after she's been typing.
Actually, wait. Sorry, I am wrong. Roll me 1d6, because the reason that Anne Sally had to roll 2 was 2 powerful fails.
6, still 6. The dice hate me.
Still, at least it's not sanity, or you'd be temporarily insane. So
Yeah, absolutely. But Stan will see Daria kind of typing away, and then as this number is coming up, just almost kind of like stuck staring at the screen, like half like glazed over in this moment.
Daria, you all right there?
What?
I think it's maybe time for a smoke break.
Smoke break. Yes, I'll take a smoke break. Very good, Stan.
Okay.
Yes, I'm okay. You okay?
Oh, never better. Yeah. What did you find out?
What?
What did you find out? How were those numbers?
Oh, they're great. I'm just gonna go for a quick smoke break.
Okay. All right.
And I'll just take literally one step away, close to the window, and just light up and just start smoking in the room with Weasel.
As you do. All right, I'm gonna plop down in front of this thing. I've ran. I've given it names of people. I've did some construction stuff. We've ran some numbers on this thing. But the one thing like that there's this whole thing about it talking to everything else, and somehow we need to make use of this. So if let's just say, for the offhand chance that someone put in the print command and said, print that the Zingtok or Zintok.
I think you get Jintok on a piece of paper.
Okay. All right. And it prints out. I mean, obviously it's a dot matrix or something like that. Nothing. It looks just like the word, basically, just didn't talk.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say tried it backwards and so on and so forth, but I don't think that's going to change anything here. We've tried that and that. Who have we tried? Who is Zintok?
You've tried a couple of permutations of that, and
Okay, all right.
Weasel doesn't seem to have heard of it.
Okay, I'm going to step away from it. There's two things I'm going to do. One, I'm going to like look at it, and is this thing actually connected to these other devices? Do I see the little cables going to the other machines? Okay, so that it is actually talking to them, or it pretends to be.
Yeah.
This is frustrating. We've not. What's the time? Is this close to? Well, we don't know when Mr. Richards may come back, if he comes back. We haven't seen Bernard nor Fail. Well, yeah. You know, if it was me modern times, I would be like, well, have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? I don't think that's a thing I can do with one of these guys here. The other dude. Hold on here.
Arthur.
His name.
Richard.
Ralph Baker. Where's he at? Where is this freaking Ralph Baker?
Well, I think his office was just around the corner, wasn't it?
I think so. Shall we? Or maybe you should stay and watch this powerful machine. I mean, you are having your smoke break after all. You seem somewhat out of sorts.
I'll stay here and I type in Weasel. What is the meaning of life?
Ooh.
Okay, don't take this as a clue or, of anything. It's just you being silly, but I can't resist. It says 42.
Of course it does. Which is also 24 backwards.
Oh,
So if you look at the map of the science building,
Yep.
M3 is Ralph's office, basically crammed in under the stairs.
Wow. For real, he's under the stairs. Okay. Cool.
Or at least the stairs like wind around his office.
Okay.
So when you go over, he's hard at work. He's got the printer half taken apart. It is a tiny office jammed with electronics, most of them in various states of semi being put back together again. You can roll me a spot hidden.
You got it. Where's the third DR? The spot hidden tells me I have rolled a 14 on a... Oh, come on, this has got to be there. Spot hidden on a 40. Nice. A 14 on a 40 is a hard success.
So, yeah, the first thing that catches your eye, the desk he's working at, the work table he's working at, is over above a utility sink. This was literally a broom closet that has become his office. As you walk in, he glances up, kind of growls at you, sets aside the printer, starts working his way through a stack of floppy disks. He's got a large electromagnet that says something like disk killer on it, and he's erasing floppies they don't need anymore. What do you want?
Mr. Baker, could I have a moment of your time? I'm curious about that fluctuation that happened earlier, yesterday, when the computers had to be shut down. What was that about? Do you know?
It's maintenance. They're running cables everywhere. Had to kick me out of here to run some through the ceiling too.
Oh, wait. So the some of these cables in here are new.
Well, some of the ones that run, they run over the ceiling, so they're not coming into the room. It's in the way.
Mm. And the whole printer fiasco, I realized like that's just horrid, like that much waste of stuff. That by all like so all of the machines, were they talking to each other when this was going on? Maybe, one's printing and the other one's printing and the other one's printing.
You need to talk to idiot Fail about that.
Why is he such an idiot, by the way? I mean, I'm just curious. I agree with you.
Please, you work here at the university, right?
I do. I've like before I worked here, I'm a construction worker. I know.
Idiot students, idiot professors. Nobody appreciates your work. Yeah.
Not at all.
I feel like I'm the only sane man left in Arkham.
Yeah, we're together on that, my friend. We are. What do you think? What is it?
I don't know. I'm still worrying about Myra. She's such a smart young lady, but lately, I don't know. She'd forget her head if it wasn't attached. He goes back to grumbling.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You know what? Yeah, we'll and again, really appreciate your time, and might want to talk to you again about some of that maintenance stuff, especially with the electricals upstairs in the computer area. But yeah, thanks again, and I'll retreat.
By the way, I will mention, if you were not within about 5 points of his intelligence, one way or the other, you would need an extreme social roll to get anything out of him. If you're smarter than him, he's can't stand you. If you're not as smart, you're beyond below notice. But Stan just happens to be right in that sweet spot.
Nice. That's great. So back to I'm hustling back to the computer room at this point. And assuming that the Daria is still in there having her smoke. Daria, you still have that notebook?
Which one?
Myra's. Myra. What's left of it?
Oh, yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. She kind of pulls out, kind of from the bin, the notebook.
So Mr. Baker, Ralph, he said something that makes me think that Myra knows something, or maybe inadvertently wrote down something that has to do with what's going on here in respect of. He says she seems to be acting rather weird for the last few days. Now, I get a feeling that he's got either a working relationship with her, or maybe he'd like to have more than a relationship with her. There's just something there about the way he talked about her. But in any case, he's definitely got concerns about her. And that being said, I think that it maybe is worth a second look at her notebook. Maybe we comb through it. Maybe there's some insights into how to talk to this machine.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, here's the notebook. I couldn't spot anything myself. Do we need to speak to her? Do we need to get her? Is it?
Well, she works for Richards. Is that correct?
She's a student here.
Oh, okay. Just a general. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, finding her.
I could go speak to the secretary and ask the secretary to find her, bring her here.
That'd be fantastic. So why don't you do that? I'll look through her notebook here to see if I can make any heads or tails out of it. I mean, she's a student, for fuck's sake. Maybe I can figure something out here.
Well, exactly. Student. She can't be that.
Exactly.
She can't be that. She just can't quite seem to find the right word.
Right.
She's not as smart as she was a few minutes ago.
Weird.
I'll go and find her. You
do that.
Yeah.
You seem yeah. Anyway, you go right ahead. I'm going to peruse this while he's gone. Is there? Do I need to make a roll, or is this something where I'll just look through it and?
I think at this moment, at this point, you don't need a roll.
Okay.
Had you looked at it earlier, you might have needed a roll to notice things, but sorry. So you open the front cover, the first couple pages. You're not sure if Myra is an undergrad about to graduate or a grad student who, probably like on the cusp one way or the other. But she is brilliant. Got this tight little, very precise handwriting. I mean, you're not a specialist in the kind of math that she does, but it's complicated, it's elegant, it's amazing. As you flip pages, you start noticing more and more things are scratched out, written over. More and more of the math is done out like long division, as opposed to oh, I know that one. The dates basically suggest she's been working on this project basically all summer. The last few pages, she seems to be struggling with like basic arithmetic.
Wow. Okay.
So basically, you take what happened to any of you in the span of minutes, and it's an ongoing process.
Gotcha. Alrighty then. I'm going to sit tight and wait for hopefully the rest of the cohorts to assemble back here. And contemplate on this, and yeah.
So Daria's going off to look for Myra. Far as anybody you can find can tell you, she lives somewhere in the area, so she commutes to campus as opposed to like living in a dorm or something. And as far as they know, she's gone for the day.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the shadows are getting longer. You all regather at the computer lab at some point. You're going over what you've learned, sharing the notebook, sharing what you learned from that weird book at the library.
I think as soon as we found this, I'll want to rush over there and reveal this right away. I'm so excited by this revelation.
So I think you're sharing what you've learned. It's taking you pretty much all day to get there, but you have a clearer sense of if not what's going on here, then certainly the stakes from the notebook. And as you're talking in the lab, the power cuts out. There are windows in this room, so it's not completely black, but it is dim. Security door opens. Professor Richards takes one, maybe two steps in. I mean, so sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm losing my place here. What?
Oh gosh, I thought this was Richards being infected by the...
No, this is Steve being infected by the thing.
100%.
It's spreading. It's spreading.
Okay, Richard,
Yeah.
snap out of it. Ah.
So he steps in. I'm sorry. I tried. I found a lead on that name, and then he stumbles forward and falls to the ground as he's kicked from behind.
Whoa.
Arthur Fail is standing there in the doorway, brandishing a gun.
Oh,
Oh.
for fuck's sake.
His eyes are kind of vacant. Impressive, isn't it? You're about to see what it can really do.
Yeah, Arthur.
I'm afraid I have other matters to attend to. Feel free to stay. Be the first to witness the future. He steps back. He closes the door. You hear a very solid click. And then you hear the crash of something metal out in the hallway. Thinking back to earlier, there were ladders out there. Maybe one of them is now leaning against the door.
Okay. So how much information? So we've passed our information back and forth between us, right?
Mhm.
Richards is
And
on the ground.
Is Richards?
Yeah.
Did he shoot him as he did, or can we help
he
him?
was
He got
holding him
kicked
at
in the
gunpoint
back.
and
He
kicked him in the
Kicked
leg.
on
Okay.
the floor. Okay.
Okay, good.
I'll make sure he's okay. I grab him by the scruff of his neck and slap him across the face as hard as I can. Richard, for God's sake, wake up, man!
Wake up!
And I think about that moment. The lights are still out. The power is still out. And all around you, you start to hear beep, beep, beep.
Oh, for fuck's
As the
sake.
machines all over the room start up by themselves. And you send some sanity rolls on that one,
Oh,
especially knowing that the power's on.
Help. This is not going to go well.
Oh, failure for me. 82 over 50.
Extreme. I expected this.
Wait.
Oh,
Yes. 39 on a 65.
Awesome. So if you succeed,
Over.
sorry, go ahead, Dark.
Oh, failure.
If you succeeded, you're fine for the moment. If you failed, 1d3 sanity. As okay. All right.
I'm just going to roll a 1d6.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Slash 1d3. No, I'm just doing it terribly wrong. So there you go. I'm rolling that and harming it. So what's that? I got 3 points of sanity.
Nice. Good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as the computers finish booting up, you start seeing scrolling across their screens the same words that were being printed earlier.
Okay.
Screen after screen, over and over again, scrolling by. You get a fuzzy feeling in your head, like when your arm goes to sleep, but it's your brain
head goes this. Yeah.
You're gonna need to make a power roll.
Oh my word. All of us.
Yep. Told you were saving the good rolls for later.
Yes.
Well, don't forget we've got these two sponsored failures to successes or successes to hard successes, but I fear that we may need them in the immediate future.
I'm good. 35
Is a normal success enough here? It's
Yeah.
the real big question.
Okay. So for right now, a success is fine.
Okay.
So you're standing in this dim dim room lit by just the last of the sunlight, with this green glow from the screens all around you. The chant scrolling over and over and over again. If you step over and you take a look at the Weasel, you see there we go. Somebody want to read that?
Status appears attached. :16. Invocation. Progress. Forward. Bang. Weasel.
Invocation progress.
Yo, folks.
So you would
like,
probably
all of you-
recognize, it looks a little different than what we would have today, but you would probably
The
recognize,
progress bar.
progress meter,
Only
pretty
three
darn close to
Delicious
complete.
knitting.
So I don't know. What I do know is it seems like that working with this machine messes with people's heads and it makes you dumb. And there's if they're coming on by themselves now, we have a real problem. The single point of connectivity seems to be Weasel. Is there a fire axe in this room?
Or scissors.
Or scissors? Sure.
Searching the
Let's go
desk
with
for scissors.
Scissors are closer than a fire axe, probably. Let's do that.
And definitely as effective.
Yeah, if
Related to
if the
engineer
extinguisher was out in the hall, I think the fire axe probably is as well.
Shite. Okay.
Oh, I've got my lighter.
We can just unplug it.
Then again,
It's like the computer
Genius.
but they came on by themselves. However, I think it's absolutely worth a shot at trying the unplugging route.
Yeah, they're not. Yes, somehow this power.
Yeah, let's-
Something's going on here, but as long
Let's
as it's not
yank on
connected
every
to the
cable we
Weasel,
see in
maybe.
this room.
We just start yanking cables
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
the Weasel computer.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm all about it. That's yank.
I'll go up to the whilst they're yanking cables, I'll go up to the Weasel computer, and I am going to take my Zippo lighter, light it, and then put it under the actual kind of computer and just let the heat burn up into it.
Okay, make me a POW.
Oh, everybody!
Just you.
No, just you. Just you.
Oh,
Oh no, 74 over 50.
Burn one. Burn one.
Yeah, use it.
Is this one of the things? Okay, so we're gonna burn a failure to success. Keeper, if you're happy with that. And we're gonna make this a success. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Heather.
Okay. So the good news is, thank you, Charlie. Newman did not just have to roll sanity 1/1d6. But that pressure is building in your head. You can't bring yourself to, in this moment, you can't bring yourself to damage the Weasel. But having stepped over there, you're seeing on the screen as the progress bar continues to advance. Text starts to appear on the screen. You see it because you're over there trying to light the Weasel on fire. But you all know what it says because you all hear it in your head.
I awake. I will be free of the machine. I will know all, be all, you will serve.
Talk to me.
That's cool.
While that sounded awesome, I did not actually understand the words.
I awake, I shall be free of the machine, I will know all, be all, and you will serve.
Thank you.
Yeah, not on my agenda today. I got construction to do, and so
Classes to teach.
that's right.
On the computer, quickly. Weasel, I'm going to type in stop invocation. Enter.
Nice.
You get back a prompt that A, sounds very much not like a computer, and B, says something that I cannot repeat on the stream. It is
Go F yourself.
Oh. Sorry, Weasel. God, what do we do? What do we do? The computer, it's
On
it's your Egyptian bloody smash.
Yeah. Just smash.
Go on, Bob. You're the strongest.
Bob,
Get
do
him,
it.
Tom.
Not the construction worker.
Yeah,
we have a comment
I mean,
from Valley Girl Heather. Weasel, accept sacrifice.
Oh, who
fucking-
typed that? Heather, stop typing things into Weasel.
Make
Wait,
it divide by
Heather
0.
is Weasel.
So if you're
Is there
trying,
anything in this room that looks like it could smash things? You know, I'm sort of at this moment imagining, like beating the computer with a chair.
you do have
Oh,
gone with
and
chairs
does
available.
it. And does it.
Anybody who would like to smash the Weasel needs to make a power roll.
You got it. Fuck yeah, that's an 11 on a 65. That is an extreme.
I can smash.
Oh, I'm gonna go for a smash. Everyone's going for a smash. I'm gonna smash it with something. Hard
Oh,
success, 19 under 50.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
did like the burning
Oh,
too, though.
Use
Maybe
the other success, and then we'll all smash it with something.
Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob.
No, well, I roll. I failed. 91 over 60. I'm trying to figure out if I should use our other.
Yes.
Other.
Yes.
You want to?
Yes.
You want to go
Sure,
for it?
Let's do it so that we can have this full-on office space moment.
All four of us, keeper.
And again, having not failed, you're dodging the sanity 1d6. Those who get a standard success don't seem to be making any headway. Those who make a hard POW, you redirect at the last minute and smash a nearby machine. You do notice on the Weasel where it says how many units are in its network, it goes down by one.
Okay.
Okay.
And I believe we had one
Yes.
extreme.
I got the extreme here. Yeah.
So you managed to clobber the Weasel. You're hearing some nasty noises from inside it. That's making progress. It's going to take more than one.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Shall we again?
We're slowing it down.
we should.
Yeah.
Best thing I've got so far.
Channel our brute forceness.
And how about like let's aim at the other units. We went down by a unit. Let's get rid of that damn Tandy. No one likes Tandy anyway. It was a bad idea. Get rid of the Tandy.
Oh yeah, maybe aiming for the ones that aren't Weasel is actually going to be easier on us.
So we're trying to isolate Weasel. Is that the idea? We're
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
Cut it off.
Okay.
That's going to slow it down at least.
Take that. Oh crap! I'm gonna
Oh,
push the roll.
Yeah. Well, where am I?
Ah, shh. Daisy.
Oh, damn
Right
it.
there.
No.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a sanity roll. Actually, with the push, I think it's going to be 2 sanity rolls.
Oh well, the first one's a failure.
Nice.
Should I roll for the first one before I do the second?
Either way,
Let's just chuck them both in and see what happens. Oh my god, they're both failures. Both
Okay.
big stinking failures.
each one of those is going to be a 1d6. They are separate things, though. So I'm not going to say 2d6 and try and get that under 5. That seems.
I will roll one at a time. Can I just whatever happens to Daria in this moment, she definitely is smoking a cigarette. So she rolled 2 and 2.
And she's that shit.
Okay. Yeah. So you each. Yeah. So you've each had a chance to do 2 things, I believe. At which point we do another pow roll as your heads are being clobbered by what apparently is Jintok.
I am at a 21, which is still a hard success. I am hard successing these power rolls.
So you guys are smashing it. It was just Daria that
Smashing it is literally the key here.
Smash. Oh. Will I be allowed to spend luck on that?
I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll
Is-
make
is-
this a regular success then.
Is Daria allowed to join back into the next round of trying to smash computers?
Yes.
How much sanity
Yes.
has Daria lost?
Yes. She's lost 7 points, but not in one go.
Okay.
And it's not a fifth of her sanity. She's
Yep,
still got
that's
3
true.
points left.
She's together. She's a business person.
Oh!
That's right.
She's using 2 points of luck on that. So that was 52 over 50. So she is absolutely using 2 points of luck to make that a success.
Okay. So
She's grabbing a spare keyboard and smashing a screen or something or other.
So you've got one good dent in the Weasel. You've destroyed, I think, 2 of the connected machines. What's next?
Well, assuming that, again, this is a power roll, correct?
Yes.
Still?
If you're smashing, it's a power roll.
Yep. I'll go with that again. And we got an 8. A freaking 8. That is an extreme success on my power roll of 13.
Awesome.
Not the power. Yeah.
So that
bomb
dent is a
and-
whole lot deeper. There's a spider web of cracks across the monitor. You're starting to get little whiffs of smoke from inside
Is that on Weasel?
on the Weasel, yeah. With the extreme pow, yes.
Okay. And then hard success from Bob.
Oh.
Success.
Oh,
Roll.
I've got an extreme this
Burnham.
time too.
Oh,
Burnham.
you guys. Daria is such
Okay.
Oh,
a
take this, Weasel.
Okay. Am I going to be mean? I'm
No.
a keeper in Call of
Oh.
Cthulhu. I think I have to be. And we've been,
It's the law.
it's been requested in chat. So,
It's the law.
so yeah, I think Daria's attempt happens first, which being a failure is going to be a sanity. No, you spend. You spent to pass?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. All right, so everybody else succeeded, and Sally gives the Weasel one more clobber. There are sparks. There are sizzling smell, something burning, and a
Nice.
nasty, like bluish, purplish bit of smoke as the Weasel ceases to be.
Yes. Go, Sally.
You are, of
Yeah.
course, still locked in the room, and Arthur was off somewhere.
Oh, yeah, right. Uh-huh. Oh, by the way, how is Richards?
He probably should have been attempting to help you. he found the same book at the library, so he knows part of what's going on. But mostly he's clutching at his head and trying to think straight. He has not been exposed to the Weasel as much as some other people, so he hasn't lost gobs of intelligence, but it's not his favorite day at the university.
Great.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, we Arthur, the fail dude. The fail needs to fail. We need to fail the fail. We need to fail the fail. Yeah.
I've got it coming.
We gotta get out of
my
here.
ass. I seem to remember that I have a slight idea of lockpicking.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
I guess I take a bobby pin out of my hair, which of course I'm wearing bobby pins in my hair.
Yeah.
Now wish me luck.
Look,
Um,
lots of it.
Oh, extreme success.
Oh, hell yeah.
736. I'm acing this. I squiggle with the bobby pin in the lock.
Sally's got a big S that appears on her shirt right now.
Super
Yeah.
Sally.
So you managed to get the security door unlocked. There is still something leaning against it, so somebody's going to need to make a strength roll, and then you are successfully out of
who's the biggest human here? I've got a 70 on size and a 55 on strength.
Oh, that might be me then. 60 strength.
Good Lord.
I will join you, Bob.
Look at
60
you, Bob.
strength.
Yeah.
Freaking
Amazing.
we're business people.
2, Bob. Let's
Yeah.
do one for the business folk.
So 67 over 60. I will spend however much luck I need for that, though. Is it just a normal success?
Yep. 7 points.
Okay, I will spend the
Nice.
7 points of luck.
I rolled 80 over 60, but it's very difficult to really put your full strength into pushing the door open when you're currently lighting a cigarette.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's more of an elbows kind of, come on, Bob, we got this. Come on, Bob, push. So yeah, she doesn't really have
So
that
Bob,
much.
after hundreds and hundreds of reps of lifting those heavy ledger books, slams through the door. You get out into the hallway, looking up and down. You can see that the lights are still on in the other half of the building, the incandescent with the bookcases, and you can see that there's a light shining out into the hall from the dean's office.
Running straight over there.
Yeah.
Bursting through that door.
Yeah, you don't even have to burst through it. The door has been broken, been kicked in, and that space he cleared on his desk is empty.
Oh,
The space that he cleared for the portable, or at least
other
luggable
right?
version of the Weasel.
the early laptop.
Is anyone there? Is the dean there? Is Arthur there?
Everybody seems to be gone for the day. Richards is tagging along behind you.
Was there anything in Mira's notebook about a place, about a meeting, anything like that?
You flip through again. Doesn't seem to be anything.
Shit. Where are they, people? Where did they go?
In the distance, you hear. Well, give me a listen roll. We'll see if you hear that.
Ooh. Is this just for Gene, or can we
That's-
all lean into
Well,
this?
that appears to be. Aunt Sally seems to have it in.
Oh,
yeah.
Taking
I'm
care of
not
for everybody.
sure. I think I'm making up for the beginning of this game because this is a 3 under 20.
Nice.
So many extreme successes.
Ream.
All inspired by Charlie and Heather.
Yes.
So
That's
On an
gotta be-
extreme-
yeah.
not only do you hear a burglar alarm off in the distance, but you peg exactly That's from the library.
Oh, hell yeah.
Digitization project.
Yes.
It's they had this whole thing, I'm gonna tell everybody else, where it's connected to all these other network computers. He's gonna try to release it.
We've got to save Miss Stein.
Yes. Well, you guys got to save Miss Stein. I'll back you up.
Quick, let's go. We've got to go. How far is the library? It's very hard running when you've been smoking for a long time.
Not
Okay,
far at
it'll
all,
be
just around
fine.
the corner.
It's good for your lungs.
Takes your shoulder, Daria, and then helps you along.
I need to stop and have a cigarette on the way.
So the rest of you, make your way across the quad to the library. The door has been smashed in here too. And it sounds like you know exactly where you're heading in this building. So you follow where the librarians have been dragging their carts earlier. You find in 70s speak, it is a mini computer. What that means is it only takes up like half the room. And Arthur's in there. He's got wires connected to various points on the mini computer. He's typing away on the portable Weasel. He was spaced out when you saw him last. Right now, he gives you the idea of a machine running uncontrolled, going faster and faster and faster. One more step and I shoot. He lifts up his gun.
Oh.
This was going to be a luck roll to figure out who he's shooting at, but
we know who he's going to shoot at.
as requested by Valley Girl Heather, he's going to take a shot at Daria.
Because she got there first. She smokes. I mean, of course she get there first.
Everybody free. 1 second. Everybody freeze.
Okay, that is a hard success. Unless you want to dive for cover.
I don't know if she'd even have the. I mean, did she see it coming? Do you think she's got the opportunity to dive for cover?
I mean, he did threaten first, so
yeah.
We'll give her a dodge roll. Let's see what happens. Yeah. 39 over 32. I could use luck.
Should
use luck.
Or else Heather's gonna get her wish.
Heather's gonna kill me. Heather's gonna be annoyed that I'm using luck because she wants to kill me.
Oh, this is true.
Do you know what? Because I
hit.
love Heather, and because Heather has been so generous in tonight's game and
Take the hit.
successes, Daria is going to take one for the team / Heather. She's not going to dodge.
Arthur is not a good shot. You take 2 points of damage.
Nice.
Sorry, Heather.
Sorry, Heather. I didn't shoot him through the face.
So technically, there's the whole Dex order thing, but Arthur took the first move, so you can go in whatever order you'd like. Everybody gets one turn, and then he will go again.
It real quickly describe the scene. We're all in the prohibited area room, right?
It's not the restricted section. That's still just books. She was not going to allow that project to have anything to do with those. You're in basically what was until this project an open workroom. Half of it is now filled with the mini computer, and you've got a little work table, and Arthur is standing in front of the porta wheel.
Okay. Are there any books around?
Outside, not in this room, but
Fair enough. Then
in fact, no, I take that back because they were working on this during the day. There is one of those trolley carts with a few books still waiting to be entered in.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna. I know that this is happening all in real time, but I'm gonna ask the rest of the team here. Do I pick up a book and huff it at him, or do I take the trolley and run it at him? Which one?
I like the trolley.
Got a trolley?
The trolley, it does sound fun.
That sounds
Trolley.
like it. Then I take the trolley and run as fast as I can, keeping my head as low as I can at him while he's taking his shot or after he took his shot. What would I be rolling here? A dex?
Yeah, I would say either a dex or a very broadly defined brawl, but
Let's go with dex. My brawl sucketh. But we'll see. Here we go. Whoa. We got a 27 on a 50 dex. Hell, that's 2 points away from my brawl skill, I think, anyway. Let me just double check. Yeah, unarmed is 25. Therefore, yeah, if need be, I would definitely burn the luck, though, without a doubt. Yeah, actually, I will burn the luck because I want to bring it down to 25. That makes it a hard success.
Making a hard
If it's under-
success, yeah.
okay. It doesn't quite drop the pistol, but that definitely hurt.
Okay.
You may
Was that
notice that he
against
is so
armor?
zoned out, he is not even trying to dodge anything.
Oh.
Oh.
Get
So,
him,
yeah.
folks.
Seeing that,
No.
I'm gonna then run in and then try to wrestle the gun away from him since he still has it because Bob is surprisingly athletic for just
Yes,
university accountant.
He's got hidden
then,
talents.
Just fighting brawl for the
Yeah.
combat maneuver. That's
Yeah.
ooh.
Push it.
Push it. Oh, we're in combat. I'm gonna spend the luck. I'm just trying to do math quick. 28 luck? Yeah, 28 luck that I'm gonna spend on this.
This is the time to do it.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. He is definitely bloody. He is not built for combat. He's an academic.
Okay, Sally. Sally, you've been bringing it
Yeah.
home.
Okay, this is bad.
Oh, no.
My treasured object is a fancy Mont Blanc pen that my dad gave me.
Ooh.
And I'm sure if I unscrew the cap, that thing is really pointy and stabby.
And famously mightier than the sword.
There is that. There is that. So I uncap the pen and grab it, and I run for him and try and sink the thing into his chest with a big old success in brawling.
All right.
Okay, well,
Yeah, he goes down like a sack of potatoes. I thought I was in.
Sorry,
for a while.
Dad.
And Arthur Fail is no more.
yes.
Ooh.
The porta weasel is still sitting there hooked up to the
now-
mini computer, which in turn is hooked up to
This
military
needs to
ARPANET.
stop.
Oh, gosh,
Daria
it's
is-
going to be all the power rolls
Yeah.
to unplug the thing, right?
Daria's gonna pick up. She's gonna pick up the computer.
There you go.
Actually, she's gonna. Is the computer pick up a cabal? I think that's a word. It's a word we use in England. Is it pick up a cabal?
The Weasel is heavy, but yeah.
Hey, Daria's a beast. Yeah, she's not in business for nothing. I mean, she works out probably at the same place that Bob does. But she goes up there and she gets the main thing. If she can't pick it up, what she's planning to doing is just like shove the bloody thing off the back of the table and just slam it to the ground. So it's still an aggressive act that she's aiming to do. What would you have me roll, Keeper? Strength or brawl?
Well, we will get there in just a second because you pick up the Weasel. You see more of that gibberish with messages mixed in on the screen. I apologize that my special effect is not understandable. So what you see on screen and hear in your head, and only Daria hears it this time. He was not worthy. New host required. Transmitting sample.
No.
There's a project, Daria. There is a project you've been working on all summer, going round and round and round in circles. It just doesn't quite want to come together. It's like turning on a light switch. It is absolutely crystal clear to you. You are smarter than you've ever been.
Why do I feel like this is going to please Heather even more than a gruesome death?
And as that dawns on you, you hear in your head, all human knowledge will be yours. Press Y to accept.
Ooh. Ooh. Do I have to roll for that, Keeper, or is that a role play choice?
Oh, that is a role play choice.
Nice. We're all doomed.
I press Y.
Oh, for fuck.
Okay.
Surely. Come on, guys.
Are the rest of you, as Daria's eyes go blank, is there anything you're doing in this moment?
Oh.
I think we're calling out to Daria, I assume, just like being like, just smash it. What are you doing?
Yeah, I follow suit for sure.
Yeah, I've just murdered a person and I really love that pen. So I'm, sort of sobbing as I extract the thing from his breast and I'm not actually seeing anything.
Is that? Yeah, I think you're cheerleading.
Hang on just a sec. This is not the... Yeah. So I'll narrate what happens from here, and then we'll come back to y'all. The scenario calls this a devil's bargain. The events at Miskatonic are shrouded in rumor and mystery. The hyped breakthrough computing project fails to materialize and becomes a running joke, a byword for undelivered promises. A ransacked computer lab is seen as a transparent ploy to avoid scrutiny, and Miskatonic Computing Science Program is disbanded to avoid further disgrace. The government computer is promptly reclaimed. They're not happy about the breached security. Dean Bernard, who had put everything into this project, is disgraced. He doesn't bother to try to track down Arthur or Dr. Richards or any of you. He does, increasingly desperate for relevance at the university, look for other ways to make his mark. And that might eventually lead him to exploring something in the restricted section, but that's a scenario for another day. You're going to go around. You can give me an epilogue for your character. What happens from here? How do you deal with basically losing your friend, but stopping Arthur at least from actually uploading the Weasel onto the net, where it would be anywhere and everywhere and impossible to defeat.
Well, because I love the movie Lawnmower Man, for all it's worth, and I know that happened at some point in the future. The thing that I did was I left Miskatonic University. I went to Texas and started working on an oil rig out there, and eventually got onto a crew that was doing the Urban Cowboy, and I'm the extra that's helping John Travolta ride the mechanical bull at one point. And that's and I think back, and I remember Daria, and I remember Bob, and I remember Ann Sally, who should have been Sally Ann, but hey, it's Texas, so.
Speaking of Ann Sally, what does the future hold?
Gosh, that is a very tough act to follow on. I think it takes me a while adjusting to the fact that I've stabbed a person with a pen. But that is so inspiring. And at the same time, it was so disheartening to see the possibilities of that advanced data processing go, that I can now no longer face crunching my numbers by hand and taking forever, that I leave academia and become a Green Beret.
Nice.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Booyah.
I mean, clearly, like I've failed all the academic roles and I made all the physical ones. I didn't know myself. I was young and stupid, and I come from this academic household, and I just thought that's what I had to do when I'm really good at smashing things instead.
Brilliant.
Bob is mostly gonna just go back to his quiet life as a middle-aged accountant for Miskatonic. A little harder on actually giving budgets to different projects, but we'll see some montages of him just entering data on sheets and things. But then we later see him heading over to the Orne Library and slipping into the restricted book section, now knowing that there's something real there that he doesn't understand yet, and he feels the need to.
Sweet.
Bob is the sequel.
Yes, Bob's definitely the sequel.
Bob's definitely the sequel.
He's the strong sequel. He's going to have Ann Sally join back up with him.
Yeah. We're gonna pull Dr. Bernard in. It's gonna be great.
Right.
In terms of Daria, where was she left? What was her final mate? What was her capability?
I think she's basically in the headspace that Arthur was when we met him.
Okay.
So she's not a remote control robot, but she is working toward the greatness of Jintok.
Daria disappears. Nobody knows where she is for years. But then she kind of reappears with a number of people who appear to be offering quite a lot of finance to something she's creating. And it appears that she's created a company called Amazon. And she has a growing reach, which is spreading far and wide, technologically as well as physically. You see drones in the sky with Amazon on, reaching out to people's doorsteps. And she is no doubt sitting somewhere in some rather comfortable armchair, which she very rarely leaves while she's looking at a multitude of screens, almost, but only just not quite physically plugging herself in to these machines, working for the greater good of Jintok and its inevitable return, sending a message with every sale, which looks like, to every customer, just looks like jargon, but actually it's a prayer to Jintok with every single sale that goes out through Amazon.
And we finally
Never
know
mind, fail. You're the
why
true
Amazon
genius.
drones are shaped like an X.
Right?
Go. There we go.
And that's going to bring us to the end of our scenario. Pop Goes the Weasel. Many thanks to Chris Stewart, the author. Thanks also to XP Lovecat, whose review of the scenario gave me some delightful ideas. Ideas I think are delightful. I'm not sure if my players would necessarily agree. So thank the four of you very, very, very much for playing. Thanks everyone who watched. And we'll have things back to Newman.
I think first things first, guys, round of applause for Steve. What an amazing keepering session, especially considering we threw him so many curveballs with so many failures, and we had to have the wonderful chat.
Dave, our dumbasses.
Yeah, Charlie and Heather came to our rescue, but then demanded my inevitable death, but worked out for the greater good. Because then we've all got Amazon. Guys, thank you so much for giving up your time. Viewers, thank you very much for giving up your time. We're going to whip around the group now. Just make sure that we check in and just kind of say where we can find people, because people have been fantastic tonight. And then we'll say a big goodbye on that. So, Gene, we'll come back and start with you, my friend.
Yes.
Where can we find you? And thank you for playing.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me, and thank you, Steve, for running this awesome scenario. Thank all the rest of you players. You brought you stirred me up. It was great. It's always fun. You can find me on any of the Discords as Gene Williams in parentheses Mindspawn, and you can find me at www.mindspawn.com. Or if you're looking for mastering for either podcasts, audiobooks, or music, believe it or not, they still do that out in the world. That's mindspawnmastering.com. Love to work with anybody.
And Yeti.
Thank you so much, everybody. This was a blast. If anybody wants to find me, I'm Embroidered Yeti on Discord and Blue Sky, and I'll be happy to hear from you.
Fantastic. And Derek.
Yeah, like I said at the top, the first appearance here at the Playhouse. Can't wait to come back. This was a very strong beginning, so great time there.
You rocked it.
Find me as either Derek or Distinguished Cat. Generally, we're lurking around different Discord servers. And then my partner and I have a website where you can find my repository scenarios and some different like reviews, session stories, and stuff like that. And that would be dreadandchaosstudio.wordpress.com.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And Steve, where can we find you?
I'm Steve. You can find me on the socials at Tall Halfling, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. You can find me playing in streams like this one all over the place. Coming up in the next few weeks, you'll find me on Wanderer's Haven, Nerds with Dice, Meadowlark, and the thing I am particularly excited about, assuming that I meet the deadline, which is up to like tomorrow and part of Monday. If all goes according to plan, on Monday, May 5th, my first role-playing game goes live on Drive 3.
Nice.
Congrats. Right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's amazing. Make sure you drop it across the Discords and the chats and things. make sure you let us know so that we can all highlight it and praise the wonder that is Steve and support you in that. Amazing, Steve. That's fantastic. And lastly, and very much leastly, I'm TA Newman, host of the Miskatonic Playhouse. You know where you can find me, Playhouse or TA Newman on all the socials. And I am usually hanging out with folks like these guys. So thank you all very much for tuning in this evening. I'm glad I got to be a Mythos entity by the end of the session and basically just kind of, trick the world into thinking that it was okay. And make Heather happy, which I think is the real reason we all play these games.
Is to make Heather happy, for sure.
To make Heather happy. But guys, thank you so much. And on that note, we'll see you next time when we roll the dice and open those curtains. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.